by miracle of sound.
All right, welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast. This is episode 3 of The Lost Metal. We did chapters 21 through 31 this week. I am Midnight, your host, and I'm here with Darkness.
Hello.
And Mythic.
Hi.
We start off with Wayne's point of view as he finishes telling Hoyd about how to pick. Apologies if you hear Jesus coughing in the background horribly.
Or you, for future reference.
Just cut it out.
I mean, he was coughing currently. I wasn't sure if you guys could hear that.
No, just cut it. Just cut it out.
We start with Wayne's point of view as he finishes telling Hoyd about how to pickle vegetables. Hoyd then asks for his harmonica back, but Wayne says he traded him fairly and shows off a white rat that he had put in the glove box. Hoyd is not impressed, but he eventually smiles and agrees to the trade. So what did you think about how weirded out Hoyd is by Wayne?
Nah, Hoyd was faking being weirded out. He knew exactly what he was getting.
You think so?
To be honest. Yeah, to be honest.
So Wayne
I'm just gonna put it out there before we get too far in this. I think these chapters really gave me much more admiration for Wayne. And it's insane. Like, just the way he is in this, it just made me so happy.
So Wayne then mentions he wishes life was a story, and Hoyd replies that they are all living stories, and that Wayne can be a hero even if he feels like a villain. Wayne thinks the real hero, however, stayed behind. They then get through traffic, and Hoyd pulls up to the front of the warehouse. Wayne gets out of the car and tells Hoyd to leave in case they get shot at. So what do you think about Wayne considering Wax to be the hero of their story and not himself?
He is, first off, Wax is the hero of the story.
He is the main character. Wayne is
The hero
correctly
He's the
ascertained
hero
that.
of the story. Well, I mean, no, like, even from Wayne's perspective, he's the hero. He's the one that's, in my opinion, from what it seems like, he's the one that seems to have gotten all of the, praise for pretty much what all of them did, not just Wayne, but
Yeah,
Wax,
I think Wayne though really enjoys being kind of the sidekick. He doesn't want to be. I mean, first of all, I don't think he kind of states here that he doesn't think he's worthy of being the hero. But also, I think he says
he shot that girl or shot that girl's
dad
or whatever. So
yeah. But he also mentions, I think, in a previous book that he likes being the sidekick because when the focus is less on him, people are less likely to expect his disguises. So if he's not in the spotlight,
I'm sorry to say. All I'm gonna say is I don't even think, even if they knew it was Wayne, I don't think it would matter. His disguises are insane.
I mean, just the fact that he can get into people's heads so easily, gives him an advantage even without it being a disguise.
He never. When we get there, because the way he does it in these chapters, I was just like, you never met this guy. How do you do that?
It's just from the way the bookcases are, the way his desk is, and the way
he put a hat on, and all of a sudden it was like his brain was that man's brain. I was like, what the?
He needs the hat. The hat's important.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, I'm hoping I'm hoping this all gets answered in the way that we think it is, and he's actually a conjurer, because even the conjurer thinks that he's too good.
What did you think about all of it? Darkness, though, about Wayne being Wax is the hero, I'm a villain type thing.
He's not a villain, but he's definitely not the main chosen person,
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't entirely believe, actually.
I see. I have this sneaking suspicion that he was actually the one that he was trying to get a hold of first. Because remember, he said he smacked his head in the wall and all that shit. So I was like, well, I wonder who those voices might have been. I feel like he was actually supposed to be kind of like how Sazed was not. Did not seem like they were going to be the hero of ages. I still don't think they're the hero of ages, but now they're being called upon as that, as such, the hero of ages, even by some of the people in this podcast who are wrong. But so I feel like that's kind of what it is. I feel like he's the underdog. Mm-hmm. I think he was supposed to be Wax, basically, and he was supposed to be the protagonist.
He also, even when he's doing constable stuff with Marassi, he lets Marassi kind of be the hero, the main character.
Well, first off, that's because Marassi is way better than everybody. So, like, obviously, I don't know if you've seen my name in the Discord, but
Yes. Oh wait, did
I
you you
changed it a
changed
little.
it?
I
You changed
changed it
the
a little bit.
brackets. Wait,
I
I
changed it.
can't. I didn't.
I changed it a little bit.
I don't have my
You
Discord
know.
thing big enough. What is? Where is? How do I see the full thing? Oh,
Oh wait,
Constable
you see
Major.
it?
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you should be
Yep.
Rifle
He is.
Master or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I used to rifle mastermind or rifle master, whatever it was. Yeah, I changed it when after listening to this because honestly, I think she needs to take that position away from the person who currently has it because that man is not good at all. In
Wait from
comparison.
ready.
Yeah, I don't know. It was they were saying something about when the one I don't know what the dude's name is that was like giving them shit. Uh, they were saying something about I don't know if it was actually Constable Major or whatever, but the person who was basically in charge of all the constables.
So the person in charge of all the
I was like,
constables in Ellendale, at least, is Reddy, who used to be a normal constable with Marassi, in like the first like book or two, and then got promoted. When the other guy became governor for a little bit.
the guy who's giving them shit. Whoever that guy is. Oh, okay.
No, that's the mayor of Bilming that was giving them shit this
Bilming.
episode.
I can't remember. Well, you said mayor, and that's why I was like.
I tried to say major earlier. So yeah, the mayor of Bilming is Entrone, who's the asshole. Reddy is the head of the constables in Ellendale. Who worked with Marassi, I think, in like a book or two. And then got promoted.
That's what I think. I think her position should have been that, to be honest.
To be fair, though, I think if she got promoted, she wouldn't be able to go out on these operations as much. Like, it's much more paperwork and management, where I feel like she's...
Here's my thing. How's that? Why is that possible? Or why is that a thing? Because, to be honest, you make the rules. What are you talking about? You can have people to do the paperwork. Why do you have to do it?
They should have been co-constable majors, and then and doing things together, I feel like. He could do all the paperwork, and she does all the big operations.
And as much as I hate the other woman, she's just better at politics, and the people that were in that fucking room should have given her more...
Steris in the final chapter?
Yep. I don't think... Like, I'm glad that, you and the people listening could not hear me when I am listening to the audiobook of this because I was livid. And I was like, I don't even like this character, and y'all are treating her like shit, and I don't like you all. You all suck.
She's like, I'm just trying to warn you with a bomb, and they're like, sure you are. Just go off and do your own thing.
Do you have proof of this bomb, Missy? What do you mean do I have proof? First of all, I don't care if I have proof. Okay, if I came into a room and said there's a bomb somewhere, you better take it as like fact. If you don't, you're dumb.
You're dumb.
Sarah's trying so hard, and they're just all incompetent, just ignoring her. She's like, please just listen to me.
God, the sexism in this city is.
I don't even think it's sexism. I think it's like just they
state it. No.
It's definitely a bit of sexism. I think it's also
they 100%. They 100% say that women are not suited for this or something to that extent. And I was like, "Are you serious? Like they literally use the woman card. Like, come on."
Yeah. There's multiple reasons they dismiss her, but yeah, that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because
the other one is because she's weird,
The one of the reasons is because she's autistic. The other reason is because she's married to Wax, and they all hate Wax. And the third reason is she's a woman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with Darkness that, she's weird. So I could see that being a big issue for a lot of people because, people don't like the things that are different than them. But the problem is that because of that weirdness, to be honest, she's better than them. Like, just is. And we'll get to it, obviously, and I'll go into more detail, but when they're, at that point, at one point in there, I was like, I thought she was like this really, I had her on a different pedestal, right? Like a higher pedestal. Because of when she would be when she was in the ballroom and she was just like, here, I have all of this stuff that I'm pulling out of a Mary Poppins bag because I thought of this beforehand. I was like, I'm like, oh, she's insane in that regard. And then it seemed to be biting her in the butt. And I was like, did not see that coming.
It's because Wax respects her and other people don't. He's like, oh shit, you thought of all this? Okay, let's do this. I know you're so prepared. And everyone else is like, you're just being over the top dramatic. No one cares. You don't have proof. Fuck off.
I think the thing that I'm more talking about is the fact that like she's like she has to think faster on her feet and trying to plan ahead, but like she doesn't have a plan yet. So like she's in that phase of like trying to get the plan, and you can't do that when you're in the middle of basically a conversation. You have to already have what you're going to say basically. I don't think she can. She can't. She thinks ahead of time. She doesn't think on the spot, you know?
Yeah, she likes to be able to research and really plan out and think and stuff. And yeah, she's not as good at like improvising things.
Yeah, and that's what got her in. I mean, not hot water, but that's what just kind of hindered her in the last chapter. It was just like
because she I think only had like a few hours before she was there because like I think she's probably had like half a day at most.
Like I said, I was yelling at my screen because she is like I don't like her. I mean she's better now. Like I kind of like her a little bit more, but not enough. But like just the way that they were treating her, it's like, man, even though I don't like her, I wouldn't even treat her like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I like her.
Anyways,
I think she's gonna be a traitor.
Back to Wayne and Wax and Marassi. So yeah, Wayne then gets into character as Vendel comes over, who compliments him on his acting abilities as he says Wayne is almost as good as a Kandra. Vendel then gets into character as well, and they meet up with some of the guys in the warehouse. Vendel insists that he needs to see the sequence in charge, but Wayne can see the guy is getting suspicious. Wayne pulls the guy aside and is able to convince him to bring the sequence down by saying that they saw Marassi poking around. So what do you think about Vendel, like, almost failing at this operation here?
Which one's Vendel?
Vendel's the Conjurer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when he made the comment originally of, "Oh, you're almost as good as a Kandra doing the blah blah blah," right?
And then Wayne does better.
I was like, okay. Yeah. Well, no, that's what that. Well.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
When he said he says that, he says it like, "Oh, you're almost as good," but then shortly later, it's like I was sitting here like, wait, which one is actually the Kandra? Because Wayne does not leave character.
Yeah.
Even when you do, he's still in character. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it takes him like a moment to get out of character later. I think in like the next chapter or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to me because the one is an actual, like, legitimate, like, they're, it is stated they're a Kandra. Right. Yeah, and just so much, like, I already didn't really like the way he is, like, I've just kind of been like, okay, it's, every Kandra is different, they're, just like every person is different, but, like, just the way he, like, the smugness, right, of him, just always irritated me, and it did not change in these chapters, because he's still smug while he's failing. Just, I don't know, man. He definitely needed to play a different character than what he played, that's for sure.
I think he's also like out of practice, to be fair.
Man, he needs to practice a lot of things. I think he needs to go talk to Tensoon and whatever the other woman's name was. I can't remember her name. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, thank you. I was about to say Marassi, and I was like, he's not Marassi. But yeah, like, he needs to go learn from them, because, man, this man needs to learn something. Can't fight. Can't be a different person. Well,
to be fair, he says that pretty much like none of the Kandra can fight. It's just the two others we've seen are like the exceptions.
I feel like he's mistaken. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, man, but I think you're the actual outlier. I think any of the Kandra, well, maybe not any, but like I think that a majority of the Kandra could put on, let's say, a muscular body and at least fight. Like, be able to, like, put up a decent enough fight and not be a little, pardon my French, bitch. Because, God, the way he acts later about fighting, I was just like, dude. And they put him in his place, too, and I loved it. They were like, aren't you, like, immortal? Just walk out there and soak up some bullets.
I like when he comes back after that
Yeah, I do too. Where he just gets up and he has a bullet in his fucking head.
Yeah, just forehead.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
No,
That
like
would scare anybody, though.
the part where he like plops down. He's like, I've been got.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
When all his
yeah.
bones are broken, he's like, I've been defeated.
Yeah,
He's so dramatic.
I mean, I don't know. Like, there was only one point in this entire series of chapters that he seemed like he was redeeming himself a bit, and then it just kind of got knocked down. Like, because why are we listening to you? I know you're not who you're trying to.
You're cutting out a little bit, Mythic. You might want to change your sensitivity on Discord.
Don't worry about it. I will come back in a second.
Okay. But yeah, so suddenly a bunch of constables then jump out as the sequence shows up. Wayne begins to pull out his gun, lost in his character, before Vendel stops him. However, the constables aren't from Ellendale, they're Bilming constables, and probably there's over 100 of them. So what do you think when the Bilming constables are like suddenly there, also trying to like take out the set people here?
I was so annoyed because I know I reference this shit every fucking podcast episode. And we're gonna go to the Batman situation, right? Where him and his sidekicks literally pull up, literally do all the work, and then the police show up, try to fucking hinder them. Like, what the fuck is the situation here? Like, let them do their job if you're not gonna do yours.
Okay, am I better now or?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. So when they showed up originally, my first initial thought was these people are fakes. They're not actually constables. Like when they showed up and they were like, "Oh, they're not in the same uniform or whatever," and I was like, "Yeah, these people are like fake." And then I started thinking about it, and I had a different like. They explained later what they like their idea was. Like the guy they thought what they think the set's idea is for the constables and all that thing. But like I had a different theory originally, and I mean theirs makes more sense in my opinion. But that I thought like these people that were coming in were fake constables who were going to quote unquote confiscate the stuff, and then obviously now you have it because you were the fake constable. Like stage a thing kind of thing. And I was like, that's what's going to happen. But like I said, their shit made way more sense after they started explaining it. I was like, yeah, I'd see that better.
Yeah, it makes more sense that like they have, considering who we kind of have an idea of who the set are, like the main higher ups, it makes sense that they have like upper people who are like, oh yeah, the constables can arrest them, but we'll just like make sure that like they all get free eventually, and that we like have all the stuff still sent to the correct place.
We'll get it back later, pretty much. I mean, like it makes sense. Like y'all are, you're all. I mean, not all, but the majority of them are like in high seats of power, basically.
Yeah, they all seem to be like noble lords type people.
Yep.
Who are up there,
so they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, they all have like some sort of political sway depending on what cities they're from. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like at least one or two people from like high up in like every single main city in the basin.
I mean, they've been around for a while, I'm sure. I mean, they're not. They feel like wannabe ghost bloods to me.
Kind of,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if they actually know who the ghost bloods are. That hasn't ever been confirmed.
As far as we're aware, they don't know about the ghost bloods, but
yeah, exactly.
I mean, who knows?
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like if they do know about the ghost bloods, when the one chick kind of comes into contact with them, they might know who she is if they know who the ghost bloods are. But I don't know.
I mean, even if they know about the ghost bloods, they might not know like their individual members. They might just know about
the only way I could see that it being revealed is
as if they know Moonlight.
Yeah, if they were like, oh, I know who that is, or like they don't even use her alias; they say who she actually is. There's one bombshell that we'll get when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to
it. One bombshell.
Chapter 22.
When Death shows up.
Yeah, I've got it noted. We switch to Rassie's point of view as she sees the Bilming constables show up. Moonlight mentions not knowing that they would be here either. Marassi reluctantly gets out, identifying herself. A woman that Marassi recognizes, named Captain Blantac, or Blantach, I'm not sure, comes over and groans.
It was Blantage or something. Yeah,
Blantage,
the thing it said, I don't remember.
And groans when Marassi mentions...
Marassi isn't how they don't even, like, do it, like, say Marassi. I don't remember what it was. How it was. No, it's not Marassi in the way they say it, but...
Oh, interesting.
Well, so because I have this name on Steam as well, somebody that I was playing with said it out, and that's exactly how they said it, but I don't remember how
It's
it
probably
was.
again like a French pronunciation that I don't quite know. Because although I know
Yeah,
French, I'm not
exactly.
like I don't watch like any French media,
Wait,
so I'll
you're
never know their
Canadian.
names.
You're Canadian. Don't you know French?
I
What the
said I know
heck?
some French. I'm just not like I.
Some. I know all French.
No, I'm not. I'm not in one of the more well-spoken French provinces. So pretty much the farther you go west, I think the less good at French most people tend to be in Canada.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is when I come over there, I have to go as far west as possible. Got it.
I mean, honestly, just don't go to Quebec if you don't want to speak French, because in Quebec they don't
Right.
like people who speak English.
Really? Oh.
They're very proud of their like they like
What about those people in Ontario? You know, I feel
Ontario.
like they're the
They
obvious
don't.
place. You know, that's the obvious place ever.
Toronto's pretty snobby. They kind of think they're like the only place in Canada, basically, because that's where I think like half our population lives is around the Toronto area. But yeah.
Oh, you mean wait? You mean Canada's not just all Toronto?
No, Canada's not just all Toronto.
Oh man, I always thought California was all LA. You know.
That's crazy. It is. No,
Says the
does that
person
make
from
us
LA.
the? Does that make us the equivalent of them?
Yeah, you're the equivalent of Toronto.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
Actually, to be
I'm waiting
fair,
for y'all to do Florida
Vancouver's
next
more
month.
considered related to LA because we have a bigger movie scene. We have a lot of
Wait, what
movies that are.
is?
Vancouver is
Oh
considered
yeah,
the
no,
LA slash
Yeah.
Hollywood of
Uh-huh.
Canada. So that's where like a million movies are filmed and stuff, and we have a whole bunch of stuff about it.
yeah.
But
I mean, if it's Canada, it's more like Bollywood, to be honest.
I think it's more like Toronto and New York City, maybe, are kind of like the comparison.
Mm.
But anyways, back to the actual book.
Nah, we should continue down this tirade of yeah.
But yes,
The whole
Captain Blantosh comes over, and Marassi like reminds her of where they've met before. And Blantosh complains about Marassi setting up a sting in her city without prior notice. Marassi overthinks that she couldn't have given them prior notice because they're pretty sure that there's a lot of building officials that are probably compromised by the set. So she's like, we didn't want them to know.
I mean,
uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Like I don't understand. Like, okay, I do understand, I guess. But the one woman, she just, I think it's a woman, right? The one that's talking to,
Blantosh, yeah.
that talks to Marassi. Yeah. Like they seem, the way that they seem is like they mean well, right? Like they want to do right by them, but like I feel like they talk about these plants from the set, and I'm like, how do we know you're not a plant, woman? Like,
Yeah,
I get it. You're trying to
I think
help
that
me,
that's
but God.
Marassi thinks at one point too. She's like, we don't even know that
Yeah.
you're not.
Yeah. And then, oh, you're just gonna. Here's the thing, right? I understand that Marassi knew who Moonlight was, like, you know,
Yeah.
recognized Moonlight. But, like, Wayne or Wax, I'm like, bruh, like, if I were either one of these people, I would be like, I don't know who this is, and you're bringing them in?
Yeah. I
Come
think
on.
that's. I mean, Wayne's very specifically keeping a very close eye on Moonlight because of that, and I think
I mean,
likely
to be
they
honest,
probably are keeping check of what they're saying around her.
yes, but to be honest, Wayne is probably, in my opinion, the best person to be keeping an eye on somebody because he knows people way
I mean,
too
Wax.
well.
Yeah, Wax is probably relying on Wayne to keep an eye on her. Probably, he's like, I'll focus on the research. You keep an eye on this bitch.
Yeah, exactly. This person that oh man, when he
He's
said,
like, I'll trust
when he
Marassi,
stated
but
that
like.
she's, oh, when Wayne stated, he's like, I know you're lying. I was like, you're too good at this, man.
He's like, she's trying too hard at her act. He basically thinks at
like,
one point.
what the hell, man? It's just crazy how good he is at this. You know, like it's almost like he's a conduit. And I've constantly wondered how the Conjurer can even like do the things they do, right? Where they're like,
I think the Conjure don't have any special ability for imitating people. I think it's just through necessity they learn, and they've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years to perfect it.
no. See, the thing that I get that, right? I understand that. What I'm saying is that I swear it's like they eat these people's bones, and everything is just clear to them. They just know everything about this person. Because some of the times that I remember from, I think it was Tensoon, or I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Tensoon while they were portraying themselves as the other one, but where they would just be like knowing, like they knew too much. I was like, I don't get it. How do you, like, there's research. I understand doing research, but like some of the stuff that you know, how do you do, like, how do you stalk a person long enough to know some of these things?
Is this my time to shine? Is this my time to take over the podcast?
Oh, are you taking the podcast over? Okay.
Okay, Mythic. What do you think about the two constable groups fucking up each other's operation?
I mean, I saw that coming a mile away. But I also thought they were fakes.
Low key, I just knew, like I said, it's that Batman situation with the cops all over again. You know? And what pisses me off the most is the fact that they're like, you have no rule over here. Well, it's not like you're doing any much of a better job, you know?
Well, when he says that to them later, and I'm like, first off, this is like, not to get political, but I mean, this whole book is pretty much political.
Yes.
But like, to not to get too political, but like, that's literally like state and country, right? You are telling the mayor of a state is telling the people who are coming from like jurisdiction of the country what what they can and can't do, and I'm like, boy, you are crazy. Like, I just wished Wax would have went to the higher up and been like, this is how it is, like, I don't care what this dude thinks is gonna happen when that like, God. Just playing politics too much was just it's crazy to me.
Me side-eyeing you because it literally gives me a flashback to my state.
To your state?
Yeah.
What do you mean your state?
This is the state of California.
Oh, I don't know what we mean by that, but okay. What's going on in California? I don't live there.
Yeah, so like they essentially, when all the like stuff was coming out with the new president.
Oh wait,
stuff, right?
wait. Are we talking about an immigration thing?
Just a general thing. Most of the policies that they were placing, he was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah, because like, I mean, I work in construction, so that immigration thing has been hitting us pretty hard, right? Like we had numerous people, bro.
This is gonna be like we off-railed off the podcast at this point, but the fact that it's literally like, I mean, so deserted. Here, it's so deserted here. Like no stores, no fucking like nobody in public. Like,
bro, we have had numerous people leave and go back to their country, like whichever one it is, right? Like, because they all are different. I don't remember all of them. But like go back and they're like, oh yeah, because it was told to us that if we go back willingly, we'll have a better time to get back. That's not true. You're being gaslit, man.
That's a thing.
Have you not heard that?
I haven't.
That's crazy. No, like, and the other thing is, she's back. But the other thing is about them being like, you're gonna have to cut all of this midnight.
That's okay.
I've
been listening.
The other thing being. Okay. The other thing being the fact that like that they're trying to remove citizenship for people who were born here.
Yeah, that was called out in like the beginning of the fucking like
the fact that
I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
Like, bro, like you're
sorry.
I get and it's gonna sound terrible, but like it comes from a different place, right? I understand the thought originally, right? Of like illegal people coming in here, it is a crime, right? Like, I understand that part. But when you start going after the people who were born here and are given citizenship because they were born here, that's the part where I was like, okay, I draw a line here. Okay, like, I get that you're trying to stop crime, we'll put it that way, right? And might not be doing it the best way. But I understand where your standpoint is. But when you start doing that, that's just like, you're taking it to a whole nother level. Taking it to a racism level. That's the whole problem. That's the problem, in my opinion.
And it's not even those people's like fault that they're born here too.
It's really not. That's the thing. It's crazy to me. But yeah,
I blame it on Midnight. Honestly, she should have changed her policies.
Yeah, obviously I'm in charge of the U.S.
I blame it on Trudeau. Totally his fault.
You'd probably make a way better leader.
Who, Midnight? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, Midnight, come on over here, stay here for a little bit, and I'll vote for you. Don't worry.
We might as well just like rig the elections on midnight.
I don't
Like,
think I'm allowed
Exactly.
to. I don't
no,
have U.S.
no,
citizenship.
no. With
Yeah.
enough money and bribery, you can do anything in this country.
Exactly. We can change the narrative, okay? I don't know if you've ever listened to the Hamilton like musical,
I
but
have
in
not,
there,
actually. I want
Thomas Jefferson makes a comment when he becomes president, and they're like, "Oh, well, so and so will have to be your vice president," and he said, "Says who? You know what? I can change that. You know why? Because I'm the president."
Right.
And I was like, "That's my president." I change things because I'm the president.
I mean, that's kind of what Trump's doing, though, too.
That's what I'm
Just in a
saying.
That's
what I'm saying. I'm not saying. Yeah, no. I'm not saying like Jefferson is my president. Like, man, you're the man. I'm saying that is what our president is doing.
Yep.
That is my president right now.
Oh God.
Like, bro, I'm the president. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Motherfucker, no, you can't. There's a checks and balances.
That's what makes you a dictator. that's
Emphasis on the dick.
literally what makes
Emphasis on
people
the dick.
dictators. Where they're like,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
it did work this way, but I'm gonna change it so it's in my favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna do it a different way. Because I know better. Motherfucker, no, you don't. Like, what? You couldn't wait. First off, you couldn't even keep your failing businesses like going. All right, like, come on.
Even with all the influx of cash from his family, he's still.
Yeah, and he just still goes bankrupt. Come on,
Yo.
man. Oh, that's crazy. All right, are you back now though?
Yeah. No, I'm back.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
unfortunate. I was having the time of my life leading the
I
podcast.
could tell.
and you
Yeah.
just show up again.
We went on a completely different rant all of a sudden.
No, but it was a good topic. It was a good topic.
Here's the thing.
It's
It
partially
wasn't
relevant.
actually that far off.
No, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying,
not
like,
that far off.
Yeah, honestly, like this book, considering like the way this time period
too
is more
political,
closely related to like modern times, like there's a lot more similarities in the politics and stuff.
But even just in general, like I know you didn't like when you first started this podcast that you 100% did not plan for what is going on in our day-to-day
Oh
life,
yeah, no,
right?
we started this
Like,
before all that.
But like the craziest part, yeah, we've been doing this how many? 2? Has it been 2 years? I think almost now.
I think it's been 2 years. Yeah.
Maybe.
Two, almost.
Yeah,
I think it's
so-
gonna be 3 in October. I think we started in October of 2022.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to think. I know it's got to have been over a year and a half because I've been in the house that I'm in currently for a year and a half. So I'm like,
Yeah, no,
I know it has
I
to
think
have been that long.
I know we started in October, and so I think it was October 2022 we started.
But just to think the fact that like this right now, what we are reading is very eerily similar to what we are going through is crazy. I'm almost like tempted to think that like this next whatever the next one we were reading is, which is what going back to
Oathbringer, Stormlight.
what's his name? Yeah. So it's gonna be like somehow our world is gonna start shifting like that too. Like I don't know how, but somehow.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon's style is definitely like political fantasy. Like, there's always like
You're right.
high up, like because most of the stuff is like more in like less modern type times. It's usually like noble royalty type stuff. But there's always royalty and nobles and stuff in his like at least one of his main characters and stuff like that. So there's always a political aspect.
Notice that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he always
really
has
is.
like some sort of political kind of aspect to all of his stories. Some
Almost like
books
he's
take
got a
more or
political
less of
agenda.
it, but
Oh, I said it's almost like he's got some kind of political agenda.
I think it's also just what he likes writing, right? Like, you just
Yeah,
gravitate
but,
to certain things more than other. Like, people just
I think
gravitate to certain
honestly, knowing a little bit more about Brandon, like a little bit, I don't know obviously his whole life story, but like knowing more about Brandon, I'm actually more surprised that it doesn't go more religious than political, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Brandon tries not to do, I think, too much of his own personal like super personal beliefs outside of like he does try and lean a little more, I think, like open, like as I said, like he's incorporated more like LGBT characters and like more openness to that
Only
sort of stuff
now.
as he's gotten just as he's
Yeah.
grown as a writer and as he's gotten older. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's
saw an interview about
definitely traits of his religion in the stories, but he specifically tries to write characters that don't align with his views as well as that do, and also he tries to kind of give outside of like these shard god things for like if there's an afterlife or not, like he tries to keep that all of like out of what his own beliefs are. He's like, I'm not going to go into too much of whether there's an afterlife because I prefer that to be certain characters not to be right or wrong. I want my characters to be able to have their own religious beliefs just like people in the real world do, and I don't want to influence readers of, oh, these characters are definitely wrong, these characters are definitely right in their religion.
Okay, before I go on, because the Darkness, what you were saying?
Yeah, I do like the fact that even though like he doesn't specifically like bring out religion from his like personal life and all that, he portrays religion in an effective way in these books. You know what I mean? Like it's not just one settled religion; it's multiple paths you can choose from, and it's just from this world.
Yeah, and there's also
I was going to say that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good
plenty
the way he does. Yeah. Go on.
There's plenty of different. Oh, okay. We're gonna fight.
Somebody go on.
We're gonna fight.
Sorry.
I was gonna say there's plenty of different other books out there that literally have like gods in them and all that, and it's centered on that religion for those gods specifically, right? But this one is not like it's not centered on what we already know to believe as the central gods, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so it gives them the liberty of like expressing their own like faith on not necessarily the shards themselves. You know, like there's Kelsier's stuff and all that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Kelsier's not a god. But
100% a god. But no, like even with the one dude, the asshole that they are having to deal with, like even when he's like, when he's like, oh, that's your god, I was like, I like this literary sense. Like you're not Brandon isn't stating that everyone in the world believes in this god. Like I said, Darkness. A lot of books, it's like even what I wrote, to be honest, is everybody is just centered around that, right? Like it's just it's just a fact. I was gonna. I don't know if there's something else I was trying to say, but it's just a fact, right? Like in the world that and then nobody like says otherwise. Like
no one
it is
questions
just
it or has other beliefs. Yeah.
Exactly, and like even just started making me think about the fact that like I did the same thing in mine. Like it's just a fact. Like even though I've portrayed it in my book, I've portrayed it where it's like there's not really a definite answer to it, right? But like I've written a lot of these books now, and I don't think once have I even made a character who questioned it.
Yeah.
So man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so like what I was gonna say is I like as well, like along with Darkness's lines of like how even when they know there's a god, Harmony, they're still like, I still believe in this other thing. I acknowledge the existence of this, but I still mainly put my faith in this. And then but like there's also like I like how even with the shards that have godlike powers and Alnasium and everything, there's still, you can have the thought process of there's, because it's a magical world and there's these powers, like there's still that kind of line of, are these gods or just incredibly powerful beings? Is there a further god above them? Was Adonasium god? And are these like there's a lot of more like, even as characters become more aware of actual god-like beings in their universe, there's still enough debate about whether they're even gods or what it means to be a god. And so you can have these different religions and have these different influences.
Think he exists. Yeah, the one dude doesn't even think Harmony exists.
Yeah, so like there's like all these.
He straight up denied him.
Yeah, so like there's all these different factors, and like I like how Brennan, his specialty's always very much been world building and like his super epic like climactic scenes in his books. Those are his two big strengths as an author. And so the world building aspect of like, especially in Mistborn Era 1, where there was like, Says had like all these list of religions of like what ancient peoples in our world as well, like how they would have come across different religions and how it's like, oh, these people worship the stars and like these people worship this and that based on nature, and how there's influences from real, actual, powerful beings that went back into the past and how people recognize that but didn't know what it was. And there's like all these different aspects of that I find very, very interesting, and it makes the world feel a lot more real because there's this layer of differing cultures and beliefs to it.
I mean, it's he's definitely a masterclass. But it also reminded me, by the way, that so the fact that when I didn't go, I couldn't show up last Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to my grandfather's birthday or whatever, which was great. But my brother's sister, I was sitting there, I was writing, and stuff, and because I was bored writing, and I let her read one of them. And one of her comments was like, "Oh, what other authors do you read?" And yada yada. And I started, but I never actually finished it. I started to tell her about, oh yeah, I do this podcast with two of my friends and all that. And she goes, "Have you ever read Brandon Sanderson books?" And I sat there for a second and looked at her and go, and all I'm thinking in my head is, "Wow, it's almost like I projected this into your mind." Like, that's crazy.
Imagine if she secretly listened to our podcast and didn't realize it was you because of like microphones and stuff.
To be honest, I mean, it's the same brother, so possible.
It's very possible. Imagine she's listening and she's like, wait a second, that was me.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's like, wait a second.
Nope, kind of crazy. So, I don't know. But I mean, we didn't get into a huge conversation. I kind of want to now that she said that's her favorite author, so.
Nice.
I was like,
yeah, I'm actually getting one of my coworkers to start reading Mistborn Era 1. He borrowed my copy of The Final Empire. I'm trying to get him to... Me and I have one coworker at work who's really into Brandon Sanderson as well, and we talk about it all the time. And so we've been trying to get other coworkers into the book so we can talk to them about it too.
You know what it sounds like, Midnight? It sounds like you're in a cult.
I know,
I was gonna
right?
say you're starting a cult.
Look, it's ADHD hyperfixation.
She's already in the cult.
It's my hyperfixation.
It's crazy, Midnight. It's almost like you're in a cult. Oh no.
This is my cult. This is our cult. Our podcast cult.
I am not. First off, I'm not in a cult. Not a cult. Okay, I'm not in this cult.
You were in the Kelsier cult. You were in the Survivorist cult.
Yes, I am a Survivorist, 100%. However, I am not in the Brandon Sanderson cult. Okay, just because I enjoy the work does not mean I have to be in the cult.
Yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Brandon Sanderson's a great author. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I mean, definitely top tier. Definitely top tier. Okay. Of all of the authors, and that's including like what I used to really love, and now, I mean, I still like the book because the content isn't the author, but of like Harry Potter or any of the other. There's another controversial one that I can't think of, but that was the first one that came to mind. Yeah. But like even before all the bullshit that happens, I still think that those were like good. But to be honestly, I think even if I had read Brandon Sanderson at that time, I think Brandon Sanderson still would have been above Harry Potter and
like
all
it's
that.
I'm very big on authors who are good at world building, so I agree. Like with all the controversy and even like looking back you can see some things in some of the aspects of the plot of Harry Potter and certain things, like the actual world building of Hogwarts and stuff. Like I love just like these worlds that I can then like create my own like stories almost in my head and stuff like that. So like people like Brandon Sanderson who are really good at story writing, same with like Harry Potter and everything, like the world building of it is what I enjoy the most. And those are types of authors I gravitate to, who are good at the world building over even plot and characters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a masterclass for sure. And like it makes me want to like read Brandon Sanderson's not books, but like writing before he became an author, right? Like what he was writing that led up to who he is now.
There are 2 books that you can actually get that are old versions of his writing that he are specifically not Cosmere canon, but that were written a long time ago. It's Way of Kings Prime and Dragonsteel Prime. Way of Kings is Prime. I have not read because I always worry that if I read those books, I'm going to get canon stuff confused with non-canon stuff. But I've heard things about Way of Kings Prime, and it is apparently such a different fucking story. You can see the aspects of how Stormlight came out of it, but it's very different, and a lot of the characters are very different. Like Kaladin, I think, takes the shards when he kills the Shardbearer. Instead of becoming a slave, he like becomes a light-eyed Shardbearer, and there's like all sorts of shit. Like, and it's like a completely different book, and it's like
it's a completely different story. Yeah,
yeah, it's a completely different story, but you can see what came out of it.
So what I'm talking about more though is like, so even in high school, right? Like I wrote like small things like these here and there, right? I always enjoyed writing, and even if they weren't like fully fleshed out concepts and that they never really came to something, like I would love to see those things, the things that never made it to print, never made it, out of basically, maybe a very short story kind of thing, come right early on, like when he was learning his style and all of that.
Yeah, because I do know that he finished like 20 plus books, I think, before he ever got one published. So like,
yep, I know.
Yeah, so I think I'm pretty sure he'd been writing for like a good like 15, 20 plus years before he got anything published. So, because he was like you and like I also did a lot of writing in like elementary school and high school as well of stories, and like I think he was like that too, where he was writing since like he could read basically.
Yeah, I'm sure, but like even so, I looked it up though after I heard that interview because I did actually watch him watch an interview saying that exact thing you just said about that he wrote so many books before he got published.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and the craziest part, if I remember correctly, the craziest part is that he like put a bunch of stuff out there to get published, and it was like a third book in the series that they actually picked up and were like, yeah, this is what we want to do. Like, I was like, that's crazy that they're literally taking something that's already got a story, basically, behind it. They're like, oh no, we want to start here, pretty much, right? Like that's what it seemed like. And yeah, I mean, but he was also publishing his books out before when it was much harder to actually get published. To be honest, like, now
before all the like e-publishing and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but like now you have companies which I'm trying not to use, like the way that they portray their stuff. This is why I haven't gotten published, but because I want to do kind of what he did, to be honest, and go to a publishing company. But like where they have basically like, oh yeah, you can pay me this flat, like this amount of money, and I will print your book out in a certain amount, and I'll put it out there. But basically, you got to do everything else, right? You got to do the publicity, you got to do all of it, basically. And I'm like, that I don't know all of that world, and the reason I want a person like to basically read my stuff and be like, nah, this doesn't make sense, or this like critique it. I don't want somebody to just take it and be like, oh, okay, you wrote this, I can print it, because I can print it if I wanted to.
Yeah,
I can go to a place to get it printed. Like, that's not a big deal. Like, I don't understand. But I don't think he was in that era of stuff where it was much harder to publish. So, and it's crazy that of all people, after reading this,
he still has issues with publishing companies not wanting to do.
He's got his own now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because he was having issues with like, he would be told by publishing companies like, especially with Stormlight, like your books are too long and you need to make it into like this one book into like 2 or 3 because they want to make more money off it. More books means more money, and like it's like it's too big, and so that's why he started making some of his own publishing company and a bunch of other like parts of this process, because he's like, I don't want to compromise my vision for these books on like the whims of these random publishers.
Yep, self-published shit, yeah.
And like he has a lot of his own like editors and beta readers now instead of like the normal publishing editors, because and like he's got like a whole group of people who are basically help him with his like Cosmere continuity to make sure that he's not accidentally like overruling himself in certain ways and stuff like that, because when you're in the midst of writing, sometimes it's hard to remember every single fact even when it's your own world. So like he's got
I write a lot of notes.
Yeah, well, no, he has a
A
ton of
lot
notes too, but like,
that I have to
but
go back
but
to.
he's
Yeah,
got
I
like,
was like,
I'm pretty sure he's
I'm
got
doing it
like
myself though.
books and books of just world building for
Nope.
everything
Mhm.
that is never going to get published, and that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about like some of these TTRPG books that are coming out for Stormlight and for his other worlds, because they're gonna have a bunch of this world building stuff that we don't even get in the normal books because they're just not relevant to the main story.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy how well he does, But it's even crazier because like this is something that he's done for a very long time. So
Yeah.
when you, as a writer, when you're trying to get to that point, and I've had to like step away and be like, I can't compare myself to any of these people because if I do, obviously I'm not at that level. But also, like, they don't give you like they're not step by step being like, this is how I did it, right? Like,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, there's
Well,
no aha moment there.
yeah, and so like Brennan says, like, because I've watched some of his writing lectures on like YouTube and stuff like that. He says specifically that like one of the things as an author that he learned that he had to do was he just had to write out a fuck ton of books to figure out his own writing style and how it worked for him. And he's like, it doesn't matter if your books are absolute garbage. What matters is finishing the book. Because that's how you learn your process through the whole book writing steps. If you keep starting and stopping because it's not good enough, you're going to make no progress, he said, or make a lot less progress. And he says that like he feels like one of the reasons he's such a good author now is because he was rejected for so long. And he's like, some people who do get that really good book the first time out, they struggle with sequels and other stuff because they're not used to their process and they can't time themselves for these like publisher release dates that they need to do.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Just name another J.K. Rowling book that is as big as Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, I looked it up. By the way, J.K. Rowling. That was J.K. Rowling's first and only. Well, I don't know about only, but very first book that is global success. Right? Like,
yeah,
you can't go outside pretty much and say Harry Potter to somebody and then not know who it is. Really,
yeah.
if it's the movie, the book, whatever. Like they've at least heard somebody say Harry Potter at some point. And that's crazy because, like I said, I don't think I've now J.R.R. Martin and all the other artists. I can tell you authors. Yeah, I can tell you a lot of books that they've written. Like I've read a lot of the books they've written. So like, but I don't think I can't think of any J.K. Rowling books aside from Harry Potter. Like personally. So, but hey, it's not like I'm not dogging on it. It's a great series. It really is.
Mm-hmm. The world building, especially, as I said, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely loved it. But I mean, I definitely loved it when I was a kid, and I still, it's still great. It's still great, but like it's when you have something like that, obviously, and just sometimes there are people that it just hits, right? Like
It's like how there's musicians out there who are like considered one-hit wonders because like that's the same thing, where you get like one good artistic idea, whether it's a book, a song, or whatever, and it makes it a hit, but you just can't replicate that again.
Yep. For sure.
Anyways, we should really get back into the actual book.
No, I like these better.
It's a really good conversation. I enjoyed it as well, but we're only two chapters in.
We don't do this, but we don't ever do this though outside of the podcast, though.
It's true.
We don't like just sit and chit chat. Usually we have our lives,
Yeah.
So. But okay, Midnight, if we have to go back to the book, oh my god.
Marassi goes on to explain that she needs to take these guys in herself as they're a part of a much larger organization that extends across the whole basin. Blantash seems willing to work together, but only if they do things her way, as she doesn't like the thought of politics getting involved. Marassi states they don't really need to respond to politics, but that politics, unfortunately, is involved in everything. Marassi asks if it had been harder than normal to get this operation going, which Blantash says it was, and then Marassi thinks about why the government didn't stop the operation altogether. Her conclusion is that even if the Belming cops take the weapons, they'll still end up where they need to go because of the higher-ups that are involved with the set. Marassi then glances over at the sequence, thinking that he had known about the sting from the Belming cops, and that he was expecting to be let free eventually. However, when she glances over and he meets her eye, he seems confused at first before grinning. Marassi instantly knows that he's going to use Allomancy and tries to warn Blantash, but she says that there are no Allomancers in this group before the sequence lets out a large Allomantic push. So yeah, what do you think about the sequence guy deciding to use this situation to cause further tensions between Ellendale and Bilming?
Smart, but I don't think it's so. Did they give a description of this guy? Like a
I think they
detailed
gave a
description of
description
him?
last episode of him when like he first comes down the stairs.
Okay, was it ever stated that he's wearing like earrings or anything?
I don't think so. I think he's just noted as like a guy in a suit that they can tell is high up in the set.
Gotcha. Because
I don't
the
remember
reason I
anything
ask
like
is because
yeah.
the reason I ask is because he seems like like it was almost like so it only this thought obviously only came to me after like later in this in these chapters when Wax puts the earring in, but like it definitely seems well one slightly different than the last time that somebody put an earring in, and it's almost like a what's the hive mind, right? Like they put this earring in and all of their minds are connected or something, because it was like he just was forced into her mind pretty much.
Yeah, well, so remember,
so
it doesn't need to be an earring. Most of
no,
these
middle,
set members with elementic powers probably have a Trellium spike in them. And so the Trellium
Yeah,
spike is the
but
same as the earring. It just doesn't have to be like in
I
the
was just
earring.
curious.
Yeah.
I was just curious if it was stated he had an earring like that, But like my thought was maybe he saw her Marassi, and then what's her name? His sister, Wax's sister. What's her
Talson?
name? Saw or heard or whatever from that was like, oh, that's this person, and that's who told them to start the fight, right?
It's
like that's the
definitely
whole reason that
possible.
the whole thing popped off. Because the
Yeah.
way it popped off, I was just like, there's no way these dudes were just like, oh look, this random person, Marassi. Yeah, let's just do this. No, I feel like there was somebody else pulling that string, basically.
No, I think they can do that through any Trellium spike. It's just Wax specifically uses earrings because the earring is like a symbol of the Pathian religion, which is why his original earring with Harmony was like the whole thing. And also they've used it for the Trellium spike because I believe they said that the Trellium was really brittle and hard, and they wanted to experiment with it. So that was like they used a very small piece, which was why they made it into an earring. So they just made it into like a little stud because he already had his ear pierced and everything.
But I'm just saying, like, I understood that. Yeah, I understand that. Like, it doesn't have to be an earring to do that. What I was saying is, I was wondering if he had like it was stated.
Yeah,
if it was stated already, and that I just missed that part or something. That he has an earring or he has a piercing. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember him ever being introduced. To be honest,
I think they gave a very brief description of him when he like came down the stairs in like the last episode, when it was like, oh, he's coming down because the guy that Wayne talked to like got him to come down. Actually, I think it was the first episode or first chapter of this episode.
This book, yeah.
Because
I
wrote it.
Being a thing in this.
I wrote it a while ago because we missed last week and I didn't know from the first start of the week, so I started writing the notes, and then that's why I'm thinking it's the last episode. But yeah, the start of this episode, when he called him down, I think there was a brief description, but I don't remember. But I don't remember there being. I don't think there was anything like notable about his description, and otherwise I would have written it down.
Yeah, man wearing a suit.
It's
Mr. Suit, guys.
What did you think, Darkness, about the sequence kind of taking advantage of the situation?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew instantly what was coming. And then, you see, this is where my character as like a person would be doing completely different things, because I would have blasted that bitch. I'm gonna fuck who was there.
Yeah.
Because at that point you're avoiding so many different problems.
Wouldn't be a constable long, I can do that.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, like, I mean, not saying that's a bad thing for you, I'm just saying, like, I'm pretty sure constables are kind of portray as like cops, basically, right? Like, police force.
Yeah.
So like they got rules they gotta follow.
Exactly. In my head, if you can avoid, if you can avoid something in the quickest way possible, with like a limited amount of casualties, that's the best option.
Yeah, but
I think that's basically how Wax goes about things. Like, you're more on the same mindset as Wax most of the time. Especially when he was in the roughs. Like, he's been taking a bit of a different approach with the set because he's trying to get information about his sister and, like, stopping things. But, like, I think that's basically how Wax went about his time in the roughs, was There's not really like a good jailing or cop force. You just take out the serial killers and like be done with them.
Hey man, it worked in the roughs, okay? Like
it did, yeah.
Wild West out there. It was Wild West out there. You do that, but here you're in a city, man.
Yeah,
you got some.
And it's also he's dealing with a larger organization, whereas in the roughs, it's generally like one person doing shitty things on their own. And so it's like you take them out, it's done. But when it's an organization, it's like sometimes you need information from them to get to the other members.
Yeah, like Mr. Gold over there who couldn't die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All by himself. Mr. Lonely.
So then we go to chapter 23, where we continue with Marassi's point of view as her equipment is pushed off of her. But she wears a breakaway gun belt for that exact reason, as she at least isn't pushed because of the metal on her body. Marassi is shocked by the power of the
Too bad for the other ones.
Yeah. Marassi is shocked by the power of the elementic push, as it seemed much stronger than any normal coin shot. Marassi thinks that the sequence is going to cause as many casualties as possible to blame the chaos on the fact that Elendel constables had shown up without notice. Marassi tries to
say here at this point, I thought they were not elements, Mistborns all of a sudden. I was like, oh, they found it already. They already figured it out. You're too late.
So Marassi tries to reach an aluminum gun, but the sequence shoots it in front of her to stop her from getting to any of them. Wayne and Mendel then make their way over to Marassi, and Wayne throws up a speed bubble so they can talk for a moment. Marassi explains what she thinks is happening and tells Wayne to distract the sequence so she can organize the constables. Mendel, however, is very upset at the thought of trying to fight anyone, because apparently besides a few Kandra like Melan and Tensoon, most of the Kandra still follow the first contract and refuse to fight or kill anyone. Marassi reluctantly tells...
It's so crazy to me.
Yeah, Marassi reluctantly tells him to at least draw some gunfire then and try to get her one of the aluminum guns. So yeah, what do you think about the fact the Kandra are still like very much kind of like, we still like to follow our contracty thing that we had with the Lord Ruler and now kind of with Harmony, although I'm pretty sure Harmony doesn't care if they fight or not because he's good friends with Tensoon.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure he doesn't give a rat behind whether you fight or not. And honestly, you guys probably would be better as fighters. Learn how to fight, guys. You live an insane amount of time.
That's why Melan and Tensoon are the favorites, because they'll actually do shit. They're the favorite children.
Wait.
Melan,
Tensoon, and then Bleeder were all the fighters, to be honest.
Yeah.
Bleeder
as Lessie was obviously fine with shooting people as well.
Yes, definitely a fighter, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
She had no problem shooting people. No problem killing them.
Yeah, we know that even before she went insane, she had no problem with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, heck, she was doing it with wax out in the roughs, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure we see her shoot people in like that flashback chapter we get when he first meets her.
Exactly. So, I mean, to be honest, I'm more surprised she didn't shoot him. Knowing how wax is, man.
What did you think, Darkness, about the whole Kandra thing?
I mean, it is a valid point, you know? You got all this time in the world. Learn how to manage yourself in a more efficient way.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Even if it's not fighting, learn how to be helpful in other ways then.
Learn at least some self-defense stuff or like...
Yeah, like something. I mean, like, I get it. You don't want to kill humans. Alright, leave it at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, you gotta defend yourself. And if you don't, you're just gonna die.
I feel like you at least learn how to like knock people out or something. Like at least knock them out.
Something, man.
Even if it's not like fighting wise, it's crazy how limited their like knowledge seems of like the world, you know? Like they've been there for so long, but they're so concentrated on what they're doing for Harmony and like, you know, their own like population and how they're supposed to be, that Harmony saying that the people are not like technologically advanced to where they're supposed to be is just as bad as the Kandra not advancing themselves because they're so set into following a certain like, you know, criteria.
100%, I agree with you on that. It's dumb. I don't understand. Like, see, I think I'd have less of a problem if it was only him. Like if he was like, "Nah, I'm a pacifist," right? Not the majority of us are still passive. Man, you're in a different age.
The majority of us can't swing hands.
Like, rah.
Well, it sounds like I think Melan says...
I'm pretty sure... Go on.
I was just going to say, I think early in this book, or even like the last book or something, Melan mentions how like There's quite a few Conjure who have decided to just try and live normal human lives and have just like integrated with society and just no one knows about it.
All right. So with that said, because that did lead me into another not question but a comment.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, how often, like, be honest, how often in your life do you actually get into fights?
Never.
Like, not verbal. Yeah. Like, how often have any of us, aside from sport, right? Like, because I did boxing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, like, I don't think I've ever had to be in an actual altercation that often.
I'm gonna abstain from this commentary in general, just because of the area that I
What?
grew up in.
Well, okay, well, no, I'm talking about like right now in your adult life, Darkness. Like,
Oh, well, that's a little bit more dangerous because
is it
legal stuff. But
well, okay, yeah, but I mean, and you also I know where you live, so I was scared to go in your neighborhood. So
Oh my god.
yeah, I'm not gonna say that I haven't had altercations before here, but
yeah. But,
yeah. I mean, obviously, it depends on
that
where
topic,
people live.
yeah. On that topic, so Darkness is one of three of us here who has had a altercation. Okay, so to be honest, and the next question I was going to have was, do you? I don't think Midnight can really attest to this, but do you think you could defend yourself if that had to happen, right? If you were forced into that situation?
I definitely could.
Yeah.
I've had to, so I definitely could.
Yeah, well, yeah. And I know I can because but I think Midnight will be the 1/3 out of us here.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the situation. Like,
if someone rolled up to you and just started swinging on you, would you swing back? Even if you can't fight, would you?
I would probably go for weak points and try and run afterwards. Like,
you would fight back though.
I would if I couldn't get away, I would try. Like, I wouldn't just cower. Let them.
There's no point where you're getting beat down so far in that you have no other option but to fight back because running is not an option.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like,
even if you lose,
I would try and get away if I had the choice. If I don't have the option, I would probably try and go for weak points to like make them like flinch away a bit and then try and run for it.
Or just
because like also like there's the whole like biologically women do have less muscle, generally can easily be overpowered by most men unless they're like quite trained in that.
Let's not say the genders, okay? Let's say
but I'm just saying, like, physically
you.
Like I have, compared to you guys, even if we had the same amount of training, I do have a disadvantage depending on.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you on that.
So like my options would be closer to trying to run.
For sure, but what I'm saying is, like, if a woman walked up to you, same build, same whatever, walked up to you and started fighting, you would fight back at least, at the very least.
Which, by the way, does happen here pretty often because
women fight each other. Yeah.
No, the thing is though,
Joker.
I don't know if it's an unspoken rule or if it's just like common sense in general. If you're someone of a specific build or like you're like a woman or like a man or whatever, you're gonna see somebody who's literally similar to you as a threat and go for them rather than going for like someone bigger and stuff like that in general, because you can take them,
Yeah.
So that's most likely where you're gonna get attacked by here.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. But like what I'm
especially in public.
Getting at
I mean in public.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is that this man continues to say, "Oh yeah, we follow this blah blah blah," right? But if you are going to live a normal life, even if it's a fake life, right? If you're going to live that life, you kind of need to like pretend to be a human, and human nature is to fight back. So I feel like the way that they were making the comment before, like first era of Conjure, are so hard to find. If they're pacifists like this guy, I don't think they'd be that hard to find. Just start throwing hands with everybody.
Right, just start beating down on everyone.
To be fair, with the Conjure in the like, because in like first era, people outside of like, although we saw a lot of action because of the situations Vin was in, I don't think there was a lot of scuffles, because either you were Ska and you were beaten down so bad that you never tried to fight back unless you were literally on the brink of death, or you were nobles and you were above fighting unless it was like the secret Mistborn fight in the night stuff. So, like, I think, and Kandra were very specifically not in human society unless they were contracted through, like, the Lord Ruler, and, like, they purchased a Kandra to do a specific thing for them. And then they usually would be in situations
Thought
where
they
they
had
probably
a
wouldn't be
thing, though,
fighting. They were usually
before.
spies and stuff.
I thought they had a thing before that, though. The reason the contract was made was because
So
basically,
yeah, so the reason the contract was made is
Go on.
because people were scared of them and started hunting them down.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. If
They weren't pacifists
you are
before that. They
scared-
became pacifists.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what I'm saying, right? They weren't pacifists at that time. That's why they were afraid of them. But when they made this contract, right? The only reason you're not afraid of them anymore, walk up to all these, any person, you swing once. If they swing back, you know they're not. They're, okay, well, no worries, kind of thing, because you fought me back. Like, it, in my opinion, made them weaker, and they're still to this day weaker.
I think it's more so they would be willing to fake fight. It's Vendel specifically doesn't want to actually try and fight. I think if to keep their cover, they would fight but not not actually try and do much harm.
Do you actually think that's what?
I honestly, they very much were very much.
He seemed like he was hella pacifist.
I mean, Vendel maybe is more so than others, but based on I think what we got from Tensoon in the first era, I think it's more so they would probably like hold off a punch and like maybe like fake punch, like try like miss them or something. But I don't think they would like. They were very much like, if we kill people, like they're gonna start coming after us again. Like, and I think a lot of it is also like Melon says this as well previously to Marassi, because Marassi's like, oh, I want to know about like people in the past, and Melon's like, humans are always the same. And so I think they probably feel that if they ever fully came out as a species, openly all the time, be themselves, they probably still fear humans will hunt us down and kill us. We must be pacifists. If we show any aggression, they're gonna come kill us. Like, there's probably that fear in the Kandra people still.
What happens if they have to imitate someone that kills?
I think they wouldn't.
Think they would take that role.
They wouldn't take the role. They were allowed to refuse contracts. They just wouldn't take it.
So, because I don't remember exactly in the Arrow one, but Tensoon, at what point did Tensoon take over for whatever the other?
He takes over sometime between book 1 and 2. I think he takes over when she gets the wolf dog body. Specifically, he does not ever have, I think, a human body within. He took over at that point when she got the wolf dog.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
yeah.
So then, all right, because I was wondering if the other guy had ever fought, but I don't think he did.
I don't think so. But I think Tensoon does say that other Kandra would never have taken that job from Kelsier. Like, Orisur was like kind of an anomaly that he took the Kelsier job to be his Kandra. So, like, it sounds like it would have been very hard for Kelsier to have gotten a Kandra in the first place because most of them would have said no to that job. Just like how the Terrace people were very pacifist and Sazed was, like, the outlier rebel, even though he's not really, like, out as compared to, like, the other humans. They don't really consider him rebellious, but he is a rebel.
The majority of them are pacifist?
In Era 1.
What? I thought that one chick was like she seemed way too domineering to be pacifist.
She was kept trapped in the breeding camps having like dozens of children.
When she got out, she was defiant as fuck.
Yeah, but she never fought. She didn't want to fight, and she specifically was very against Say's still working with Kelsier. She's like, you should be out doing your duty as like telling people about these religions for the Synod. She was very anti him being involved in the whole thing.
True, I remember that, yeah.
The Terrace people were very much a pacifist type people, which I think is partially also where the Kandra get it from, because the Kandra are all Terrace people that were like turned into mist race by the Lord Ruler.
Exactly. Man, we're getting on tangents. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Today's gonna be like a 3-hour fucking episode.
Honestly, it might be longer because, to be honest, there's a lot of chapters and a lot of content in this one.
All right, let's keep going. Suddenly a stout woman with a bowler hat walks into their bubble, which shocks Marassi enough to be slow to react. Wayne, however, is quick to react
shock me at all.
and stop the woman from hitting Marassi in the head with a dueling cane. The woman then quickly leaves the speed bubble, using her own speed bubbles to get across the room. Marassi says the plan is going to change, that she'll get her allomantic grenades and Wayne needs to go after the other slider. Once Marassi calls for Wayne's bubble to drop, she tackles Blantosh to the ground so that she doesn't get shot. Then the woman gives Marassi a nod. Marassi then glances up to see they're at the truck that she had come in, but Moonlight was nowhere to be seen. She then sees Wayne tackling the other slider, while Vendel tries to get the attention of the sequence and the other set members. Marassi tells Blantosh to try to organize her constables, but their cover is quickly thrown by the sequence using Duralumin-enhanced steel pushes. So where do you think Moonlight went during all of this?
I think she's just watching, to be honest. Sitting in the shadows, watching.
Yeah, she knows damn well she can take all of them.
I just want to imagine her and Hoyd, like, sitting in a car together, not talking because they don't like each other, but both watching.
I don't know. This woman, she's definitely one of my favorites. And just the way she acts, like
You like Shy?
the way she acts. Yeah, the way she acts around Marassi when they're alone versus the way she acts when everybody's around her. I'm like, girl, you are way too good at acting. To be honest, I mean, I understand that fucking Wayne can see through your shit, but Wayne's a fucking anomaly.
Yeah.
Just insane. The flip flop is crazy.
Also, were you surprised to see someone with a Duralumin spike? Because I know you guys have been talking about wanting to see, like, more powerful
Not at all.
people, so...
Not at all. I honestly,
That's literally one of the spikes I would probably get if I were them.
Yeah, like
especially if you already had a power.
Just the way that they fought. I'm just like, bro, y'all are dumb. Because to be honest, these guys had kitty gloves the first time, and honestly, I think they just barely took the kitty gloves off in this one because they could. I feel like, as much as I love Marassi, I feel like they could have severely destroyed them.
Yeah.
They just were way better than them.
They had quite a few Allomancers there.
It's just, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I don't understand how the set hasn't taken over the whole world yet.
Because they haven't wanted
Why
to quite yet.
Why sneak a bomb? Yeah, I was like, why sneak a bomb in when you could literally just do it? Just bring the bomb in. Who's gonna stop an army of these people?
So Marassi quickly begins looking for her belt that had the allomantic grenades on it, briefly noting Vendel tackling the sequence while Wayne and the other slider were in a burst of speed bubbles. Marassi finds her belt, but finds two of her allomantic grenades were missing, leaving her only one. She charges it as Vendel is thrown against a nearby truck, telling Marassi she's going to be charged for his broken bones. And that's when he does his whole little thing that you like, Starters, where he's like, I have been defeated!
I'm hurt!
You're gonna pay for my bones!
Christ.
So once the
Man, I would have told him he had to fight me for it.
Once the grenade is charged, she hurries over to where the sequence is hovering with a steel push and tries to get the allomantic grenade near him without him noticing. But he does see her and pushes the grenade away so it uselessly creates a bubble around no one. Marassi begins to realize that she shouldn't be fighting the set members, as they would only be fighting the constables that they believe they could win. Instead, Marassi tells one of her officers that they need to set up a retreat as they are constables and not soldiers. Marassi is also horrified to hear the explosives that they brought were in the truck that Wayne had come in on. And Marassi then hurries over to Blantosh and lets her in on the plan, including telling her about the explosives in the truck. Blantosh is eager to retreat. So do you think at the time Marassi made the right decision to try and, like, get the fuck out of there?
100%, yeah. Like I said, they would have fucked them up.
You agree?
See, if they got the fuck out of there straight off the bat,
Mhm.
they would have met less resistance than what they did after.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have met that one fucking annoying ass dude.
As Marassi places some normal grenades in with the explosives in the truck, the sequence lands on the ground and shoves 4 trucks that they are using for cover away from them. Marassi is horrified as they are left exposed, and the set members bring out a machine gun that begins to fire. However, just as the constables are about to get gunned down, Wax appears and pushes the bullets away from them. He apologizes for being late as he had needed the gunfire to find them. So yeah, what do you think about Wax appearing to save the day?
I kind of called it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When they were
call it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did, but also, like, I called it, like, while we were... Because they're getting their butts kicked, and I was like, I wonder who could save this.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be Wax, of all the people who stated they were coming.
It should have been Saze. He should have just dropped from the heaven.
Oh my god.
That would have
Oh
been
my god,
crazy.
yeah, God. No, see, in my opinion, yes, that would have been great, Darkness. I think that if that had happened, I think it would have overshadowed when Marsh shows up later. Because to be honest, just saying, Marsh showed up like a badass.
He did.
Just the way he did that was insane.
So we then switch to chapter 24, where we go to Wayne's point of view as he fights the other slider who also has healing feruchemy. As they fight, the woman tries to match Wayne's accent, which he finds incredibly annoying. He thinks that she's a cheater for getting her powers through hemalurgy, when he is lucky enough to be born with them. He also thinks there are some things you just don't take, like people's souls and the pocket watch Leslie gave to Wax. She also tells Wayne that she had been made specifically to kill him, and Wayne finds her incredibly weird with how she wants his hat and his scent for herself.
Yeah, I thought it was very weird too. It's almost like they carbon copied him.
Yeah, what do you think about her? This like anti-Wayne.
I mean, to be honest, in another life, the two of them might be in a relationship.
Low key, I was thinking they would make a pretty interesting.
It'd be a good couple. I mean, it'd be a hate kind of couple, but you know.
And then he started beating on her, so I was like,
I mean, isn't it his kink to get beat up though?
Right. Maybe she likes it.
Maybe.
I mean, if she's just like him, I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah, he's incredibly creeped out by her.
Weird.
I wonder why. It's weird that you're creeped out by the person who is pretty much just like you.
Don't they literally call her Weird Wayne?
They do call her Weird Wayne. Marassi calls him that, I believe. He doesn't like that either. He's like, she's not me.
She is, though. She really is. She's like literally a carbon copy of you. It's crazy.
So Wayne then begins pinning the woman to the ground, knowing that she obviously hadn't practiced any wrestling holds. However, a man in a nice suit shows up.
How can you be me if you haven't learned wrestling holds?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so a man in a nice suit shows up and points a gun at Wayne's head, making him have to dodge away from the two of them. He ends up near Marassi and puts up a speed bubble so they can talk for a moment. Wayne thinks they're winning, especially if Wax can take down the coin shot, but Marassi says they should still retreat. Wayne convinces her they should hold on for now, though, which Marassi agrees on as long as Wax can handle the coin shot. Wayne drops his speed bubble and Marassi shouts at Wax to take out the coin shot for them, causing him to nod and follow the man up through the ceiling and into the sky. Wayne then hurries out to take any gunfire while Marassi throws out an elementic grenade to create a slow bubble around a bunch of the set members. As Wayne takes them out, he wonders if anyone told Wax that the coin shot could use Duralumin. So were you concerned about Wax being able to fight a man with Duralumin?
Yes, but also the fact that they were like, did anybody tell him? That would have been the first thing I said. I would have been like, beat the coin shot. By the way, he can use Duralumin.
Yeah, that's probably the best option.
Yeah, like, what are you crazy? You just now thought of that? Man, it made me so confused. I'm like, man, if only you followed what Says wanted, a little more advanced in your age. Maybe you guys have cell phones or something. Like, God, I mean, not exactly, but the like huge chunky ones at least. Come on.
Yeah. Or at least pagers or something.
Something to like let this man know. Be like, hey man, Duralumin.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out. But I don't know. It obviously worked out. So
yeah, we get to chapter 25, where we switch to Wax's point of view as he flies up into the skies of Belming, slightly disoriented as he is used to flying around Ellendale. He follows after the coin shot.
I was hoping he was going to die, by the way.
He falls
only because of Wayne's earlier comments about how he wasn't the main protagonist. So it's like, oh, foreshadowing for him to become it. Wink, Wax dies.
So Wax falls after the coin shot and thinks he likely was born with the power and didn't get it through hemalurgy, based on how good he is with it. However, as Wax is about to shoot the man down, the coin shot pushes off a car with incredible power, making Wax realize the man has a hemalurgic spike for Duralumin. Wax begins going after the man, thinking that even if the man is stronger than him, he can take him with skill and wit. However, as he slides into an apartment through the window, the sequence tears off a whole wall of the building by its steel beams. The man then shows up and begins firing at Wax as he takes a swig from his aluminum flask. Wax takes cover and fires...
Honestly, why didn't he just break his gun? I mean, if he just crushed a whole metal gun, then...
Wax takes cover and fires back, mainly trying to keep the man farther from him. He then hides nearby, downing one of his flasks of metal, but is surprised by bullets being drilled through the wooden walls towards him. Wax quickly realizes the man must also have a spike for bronze and is sensing Wax's allomancy. So what do you think about the combination of powers that the sequence has?
Crazy. It's almost like they not bred, but like specifically got these specific powers so that they could combine them together in this specific way.
We also find out he's
Kind
a
of like
witcher.
yeah. I mean, it's almost like they were designed to fight Wax,
Potentially.
just like the person was designed to fight Wayne.
What did you think, Darkness, about the combination of abilities the Sequence had?
Lose darkness.
Which one's the sequence again?
Sequence is the coin shot that Wax is fighting.
Right.
He's got
Honestly,
bronze.
all that was on my mind was they on some Jean Grey type shit.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I kept like hearing. I say that because like I literally picture this like a movie in my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's usually what happens when I read.
Same.
But like I kept reading that like fucking carts and wagons and all that shit would flip over, and I'm just like, I've seen this before. You know?
Watch this movie.
I played these games before.
Yeah.
So the man soon finds Wax again.
Were they making a Mistborn video game?
Honestly, I would play the fuck out of that. It's gotta be open world, and you gotta be able to coin shot travel.
Got a horseshoe travel.
Oh my god.
The horseshoe
horse
highway.
travel. You could.
It's got no.
You can make your horse.
It's honestly, don't even get me started. It's gotta be kind of like Cyberpunk, the game, where you have like different factions you can choose from. And I feel like the best setting would be the first era.
Yeah, for sure.
I
I definitely want an era one because I want to see Luthadel and like the red sky, the ash falling. It'd be
the
so
final
good.
boss is literally instead of like so we're gonna think the final boss is the Lord Ruler, but it wasn't the Lord Ruler. It's gonna be Ruin, or Ruin could be a DLC. Who knows? Anyway, do you know if Brandon wants to talk it out, I got some ideas.
Well, I'm pretty sure there was at some point a like thing about a game coming out, and then I don't know what happened to that, but there was a thing I saw.
Kelsier in Fortnite.
No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, to be honest. Great for Brand. Terrible idea.
I want an actual Mistborn game.
I know, same. But yeah, so the man soon finds Wax again after peering on a rooftop, and Wax has to hide once more. He notes that he has his middle mind surgically implanted into his body since they found the Bands of Mourning, since it protected them better from Allomancy. Although since the man has Duralumin, Wax wasn't sure if his middle minds were completely protected. He then pushes himself slightly up a wall so he can surprise the man and throw himself at him. Wax then begins punching the man repeatedly in the face. So what do you think about Wax having his middle mind surgically implanted into his body, kind of like Miles 100 Lives had?
That is super smart.
What was the question?
What do you think about Wax having his metal mind surgically implanted into his body?
Yeah, that was
super smart.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't that kind of be
painful?
I was gonna say, I mean, I wonder what medical conditions and stuff you can get from all that.
Oh my god!
I'm the type of person that's very like scared of infections.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they're probably up to date on their tetanus shots and shit.
So eventually the man pushes them both into the air, and when they get to the peak of the push, he leeches Wax's allomantic metal reserves from him. As Wax and the man separate...
Oh no, it's aluminum!
The man kicks Wax's breakaway belt free, which also causes his metal vials to fly out into the air. Wax is able to grab one of them, and barely gets a sip from it before the man shoots the vial and causes it to explode in Wax's face. Wax instantly begins increasing and decreasing his weight to avoid the man's shots at him. What did you think about how the sequence chose to fight Wax? This, strategy of, throwing him up in the air and then taking away his abilities.
Good idea. To be honest, if only you secured your medals. Worked, but it didn't. So
I feel like I would be the worst person for somebody who uses the regeneration thing to
why
ever encounter it. Because my first instinct is to figure out how far that goes.
Oh yeah, just keep going. Yeah.
So the thing is, as they're not they don't got super strength, they don't got all that shit,
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can capture one of them,
No,
you
Pewter
can
Man.
keep torturing them over and
Oh,
over
yeah.
again. You know?
Well, so have you? We're gonna get. I don't want to. I'll make this as brief as. There D&D
You're
thing I
cutting off.
saw. Oh,
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
okay. There was a D&D thing that I saw not that long ago of a person that was saying that like they fought a bad guy, they beat the bad guy, and then he was like, he asked the DM, can I cast Revivify on anybody? And like, I mean, yeah. And then he just kept bringing the bad guy back, killing them again, and doing it
Oh,
over
gosh.
and over. And then
See,
the end of
that's the
it
type of shit I
being
would
like,
do.
yeah, and the end of it being like he brings them back one more that last time, and like just explains like I will stop doing this. You just have to stop being evil, pretty much, and like it completely makes the DM change the bad guy and stuff. I thought that was the closest to how I would play D&D with that power.
That's
Just
the
keep bringing
thing.
the bad guy
So
back.
like, they're more advanced, like technological wise, than they were before. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
6 years ago or whatever. I would have literally grabbed the person as soon as we captured them, stuck them in the machine, and constantly have their limbs ripped off. I know this is a little graphic for like the podcast.
Go
I
this
don't know
back.
how
Go
to
this back.
depict
Go this
it,
back. Go this back.
right? Right. I don't know how we're gonna depict this in the podcast, but honestly, it goes on a deeper level of torture.
Mm-hmm.
That honestly, being a gold user or like whatever the fucking regeneration thing is, would be a curse at this
Well,
point.
I think though Wayne specifically says, and I think Miles Hunterlives mentions it in the first book, like once you've like regenerated enough, you like basically don't have a sense of pain anymore. So I think they'd almost be immune to torture.
Yeah, but that's physical pain, right? At some point, if you're stuck in that machine forever, you're
Yeah, that's
gonna
true.
get a mental toll.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
And at
there's
that point, that's the
psychological
goal.
torture.
Your goal is to break them enough
Yeah, it would have
to
to be
where they don't have an
psychological.
option.
Yeah, it
You
would have to
know?
be psychological torture, or it would have to be a hemalurgic gold spike on someone who's never had gold
No,
before.
it can be both. It's gonna be both.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, yeah, like you wouldn't be able to do it like on someone like Miles or even on Wayne, where Wayne even is just like, yeah, I'm kind of like whatever to pain most of the time. He's like, it's really not an issue. He's like, it kind of hurts, but whatever.
Hey, but at that point, if you break them enough mentally and you somehow get them on your side, you have somebody immune to pain.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I wouldn't be surprised
You
if
ever
the
watch
set has
Tokyo Ghoul?
really
I have
experimented
not.
with that.
Oh my god, that's exactly what they did to Kaneki in Tokyo Ghoul. He just
Oh,
kept
like
torturing.
when he like on that fucking chair with like all that shit.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and he tortures him so much that his hair goes white, and then he like does something. I don't remember what thing he does to him in the end before he pops off into a fight. But like he does something like he breaks a bone, and the dude doesn't even flinch. And then he's just like, okay, well now I don't care about my pain, so I'll just twist my entire leg in circles and get out of the chains. And then like that's all I'm thinking of when you say, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding, not like that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So like, I wouldn't be the best person, but it's for reasons.
Sound villainous. You sound villainous for sure, Darkness.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't say I'm a villain though, because like I would definitely do
I'm pretty
stuff
sure
for
the set
good reasons.
probably has done experiments to see how
You're a
far
villain.
gold can take you without compounding.
Okay, first off, Darkness, just gonna put this out here. Most villains don't think they're villains.
Taliesin definitely doesn't think she's a villain.
They think they're doing the thing for the right reason.
I would be a villain, but that's okay, because it's for the right reason.
But your right reason is not the other.
My right reason is everybody's right reason.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Darkness would be the guy that would get the power of gold, like born with the power from gold, and then just experiment on themselves.
Yes.
How far can I push
that's
myself?
100% true. Honestly, if I found out that I could be immune to pain, I would have literally just tortured myself till that point.
Yep. Oh my god.
Anyway, so Wax uses his small amount of steel from the flask to push himself out of the way of another bullet. He then sees one of his other metal vials falling through the air nearby, and he just barely is able to get to snap into his hand. He downs it quickly, and just before he hits the ground, he pushes to stop his momentum. Wax then aims his gun up into the air, but it seems the coin shot had decided to flee instead of continuing to fight him. He then glances around to see he's interrupted some sort of building ceremony, but Hoid comes to his rescue in a black car to get him. Wax asks how Hoid found him, and Hoid just replies that he isn't that hard to track, considering how much chaos he generally creates. Wax thanks Hoid, but says he needs to go find Wayne and Marassi, and so he uses his allomancy to go find them instead. So yeah, what do you think about Hoid coming to try and get Wax? Do you think he had like something he wanted to talk to him about, or do you think he was just like, hey, I'm just here?
I think Hoid uses meta-knowledge to know where people are.
He uses fortune.
So he can be in the right...
Fortune is meta-knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. So he can be in the right place at the right time.
Well, we know from Stormlight that he goes to the right place at the right time, but he doesn't know why. He never knows why he's going somewhere. He just shows up places and he's like, that's probably why.
So what if he just doesn't?
I think he wants to
follow it. That.
So he wants to go to the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think he generally feels the need to follow.
But what's the reasoning of going to the right place at the right time if you don't know it's the right place at the right time because you don't know you're going there, you know?
Wait. You said what now? He goes there. Why midnight?
Because of
what does he call it?
Fortune, the capital F. I thought we had talked about it briefly.
Yeah, it's his ability.
Yeah, but I don't know why I didn't remember that. Is that from a place that we've already known, or is this something
we don't know?
Specific to him?
You guys don't know. So Fortune's one thing. So there's I believe a ferrochemical ability it shows on the chart that talks about that relates to Fortune, but we don't know where Hoid got his Fortune from. Yeah, so chromium stores Fortune. It says it's a ferrochemical power.
But what
so
I'm saying
is just a thing.
When did we learn about his Fortune?
So I think I told you it was because of Fortune, but we get told by Hoid, I believe in the second Stormlight book, that he's like, I know I need to go to this place. I have no idea why, but I know I need to be here. And so he goes there and just waits until something happens, which is how he ends up at the end of the second book being where Yasna appears. Because he's like, I don't need to be here, so he just sits there. He just sits there until Yasna comes out, and Yasna's like, why the fuck are you here? How did you find me? He's like, I don't fucking know, I'm just here, hi.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so he specifically, all of his appearances in the Cosmere are just him following Fortune, being like, I have a feeling I need to go beyond this planet right now. I'm gonna go do that.
I've been sitting here, like, constantly saying he's just like a stalker, and he just stalks these certain people. Like,
so I think there's some stuff with Stormlight where he wants to be there because he specifically is very anti-Odium, as we learn a little bit in the first and second books of Stormlight, because of his letters and stuff. So he's like, I think very specifically wants to be on Stormlight, but there's still certain things he does on Roshar that are specifically because of his Fortune. But most of his stuff on the other planets is either him trying to collect abilities or him following Fortune, or a combination of both.
Well, here's the next thing, right? What if the reason he's collecting abilities is because of Fortune?
It could be. We don't know. We don't see into his mind enough to know. I don't even know if the reason he's collecting the abilities is because of Fortune. I do not know the reason he's collecting abilities. Besides
honestly,
the fact that
that's my headcanon now. I don't remember this ever, but that's my headcanon. Mm-hmm. That something, this Fortune thing, is just guiding him to become Adonasium. And he doesn't know this himself. He doesn't know this because he just follows it blindly.
Well, because I think he probably knows enough about Fortune, more than probably we do, that he trusts it for whatever reason. I think Fortune's kind of like a luck type thing. It's like, it's important and good, and it helps you somehow, helps other people somehow, if you do this thing. And I'm assuming I don't know enough about how Fortune works to correctly explain it, but he obviously trusts this Fortune thing enough that he wants to follow it, even if he doesn't know why he's following, like what he's going to do when he gets to a place. So like,
do you know the character Domino?
No.
Yes.
From
like, yeah.
Her ability, her whole superpower is luck, and the big thing is in the Deadpool movie, right? When they meet, he's like, luck's not a power, and then later you watch her basically just walk through life,
and
everything is just going haywire, and she's just untouched by everything. That is how I feel Hoyt is.
Mm-hmm.
Hoyt just walks through these places, and everything around him is exploding and going haywire, and he's just strolling along like nothing's happening. That is insane.
Well, they were doing the little truck escape thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
She just
I'm pretty sure it's defined a little bit more different than just luck. But the general category of her ability is luck.
Well,
But I would say,
she says to him too.
yeah, I would say that does definitely sound like what Hoyt has, but on
Right?
how do I say it? It's less on a small scale than she is. Because hers is immediate situation, you know, like, I'm in danger type shit. Everything's gonna, like, work out around me.
So I think the way Hoyd accesses it is different than that, but I'm assuming the ferrochemical version of tapping fortune might be more similar to that, where it's an immediate thing because you're tapping it.
Would make sense, yes.
Yeah.
I also do want to note, because I was trying to look at the Coppermine page.
Fortune ferrochemist now.
Yeah, so the one note that's on the Coppermine page that can relate to stuff you guys know, it says that there is a note about how chromium can be used, obviously, as a ferochemist to store fortune, but when you use chromium hemalurgically, it doesn't steal fortune, it steals destiny.
Yes, I saw that in the back of the book.
Yeah, so that's an interesting note that I hadn't connected or really thought about, is that somehow destiny and fortune are obviously linked.
Well, that makes sense, because if, like,
Hoyd's
depending on
destiny
what
to be
your
it.
destiny is, that's what your, like, luck is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, let's say you have a certain so I'm assuming destiny is what you reach at the end of your life, no matter what, regardless of what you do in between.
I think destiny might be related, and I'm getting a little bit of this from the Coppermine. I'm assuming destiny is related to the ability shards have to use the spiritual realm to see the future. These are the potential ways your life can play out. Because it says on the Coppermine
that what is it, ATM? Like ATM?
Yeah, so ATM apparently, Brandon has said that ATM is a foreshadowing of fortune, and that he specifically hasn't given us a character who can use fortune as, like, a main, like, POV character yet. Because he's planning to use that later on.
This is fucking... I'm just gonna say Death. Does Death have every hemalurgic spike?
No. He doesn't. I don't believe
he just has the original ones that they gave him, right?
Yeah, so he has. Yes, I think he only has. I think he only has. He has at least 2 ferochemical spikes, but they didn't get a lot of ferochemy spikes. He specifically has the ATM one so he can compound his age, and the gold one to compound health. But as far as I'm aware, or he can't even compound it, it's just to use the healing abilities and aging abilities, because he specifically says you can't compound with hemalurgy. But I don't believe, because there are so few ferochemists, because of what the Lord Ruler had done to get rid of so many of them, they didn't have a lot of access to ferochemical spikes for the Inquisitors. So they've specifically focused on getting, like, healing ones and stuff like that. So he doesn't have every... How long? I don't think he spiked himself any more, though, than he was as an Inquisitor previously. Because Marsh, I think, he seems to, like, regret a lot of the, like, death thing. So unless he had found spikes that were already made, he wouldn't have given himself more ferochemical powers.
Gotcha.
So he has every allomantic ability, including his enhanced... was it copper? No, bronze, because that's what his mystic ability was. And then he has, like, and then he definitely has gold and ATM ferochemy spikes. I can't remember if he has any others, but he definitely has those 2.
Okay, that's curious, because he seems to be in the right place at the right time too. So
I think that's more Harmony telling him, like, "Hey, can you go do this thing?"
So too.
Yeah. So yeah,
which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, because the Coppermind speculates, because we haven't been given a lot of information in the books so far, it speculates that fortune is a little bit related to seeing into the future like the shards do. So...
Wait, what do you mean Harmony's guiding him? Harmony doesn't pick favorites.
Well, I mean, I feel like death is kind of outside that purview, but
That's not that. That's Marsh.
He's a friend. He's his friend. They were friends before
they
he became
they were
Harmony.
they were not friends.
They were lovers.
Oh God.
Oh, they were definitely on the opposite sides. Okay.
Well, before he became an Inquisitor, they weren't.
Yes.
I mean,
What? Huh?
He was friends with
technically,
Sage before
even-
he became an Inquisitor.
technically, even after they weren't on the
He
opposite
was
side.
he was friends with Kelsier's whole group. He just was really annoyed with Kelsier himself.
Okay. I honestly don't remember that. I thought he was
You're,
like
the only
because when-
person he
not
hated was Kelsey.
Because he
not an enemy.
specifically
I didn't think he was an enemy, but I definitely didn't think they were friends.
no, they definitely were at least friendly acquaintances. Because he specifically
No, yeah.
mentions in the first book how like while Kelsier was gone at the pits at Hassan, that he specifically like had done stuff with Breeze. He had been talking with Doxson because Marsh is the one who found Vin originally. That's how Doxson found Vin later on. He was like, "Oh, Marsh told me about her," because they would like hung out. So yeah, Marsh was friends with all of the guys.
It's
I
been
want
a
you-
long time. So I couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
it has been.
I want you to know. Every time I hear Dachshund, I can only think of a dog.
The dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, Marsh was friends with all those dudes. I think he was like more friends with certain ones than others. Like I don't remember if he liked Breeze very much because like him and Breeze had very different personalities, but like in general he was friends with the whole crew, just not necessarily with Kelsier because he didn't agree with Kelsier and they fought over Kelsier's wife.
Well, I mean, Breeze is, so alive and out there, He's,
Anyways,
What was
he's one of the big
Kelsey's wife
three.
again? What was her name?
Kelsier's wife is Mare, which is what the Mare Flower is
Right.
based off of.
She's still alive, by the
Yeah.
way. Just so you
Yeah.
know.
She's definitely not.
No, she's still alive. She was a conjure too.
Okay.
Oh, God.
That's what happens. All their wives are. Vin was a
Okay.
conjure.
Oh my god.
No, actually, no. I take it back. Vin was not the conjure.
Uh,
It was fucking Ellen. Ellen was
Ellen's
the
the
conjure.
wife of the relationship.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
Anyways, chapter 26, we switch back to Merassi's point of view, as she is now at the Belming Constable's department. She had made sure her injured constables had gotten to the hospital first, and had also picked up her elementic grenades before leaving the warehouse. However, 2 of her constables had died, which hurts her. She was also upset to hear Wax tell her that Harmony is blinded and will help the best he can, but that he seems frightened. Wax also mentions that he and Steris think that the set have, or are close to having, an extremely powerful weapon. Currently, they were in a room that Morassi suspected was used for interrogations, although they of course weren't locked in it. Vendel sat awkwardly in the corner of the room, looking a bit lumpy because of how he'd fixed his bones. Wayne was napping on the floor, and Morassi couldn't help but think about how horribly everything had gone. But Wax tells her that they shouldn't be surprised at being outmaneuvered, and that Morassi wasn't a killer. So what do you think about how hard Morassi is taking the failure of her operation?
And, I'd probably take it just as hard, to be honest. It sucks to be the best and, fail.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Darkness?
It's hard being on the top,
I don't want to automatically say it wasn't her fault, but as much as I want to think of solutions or any steps she could have taken, there's not much she could have done in that situation.
Yeah, because her plan had never been to fight them. The only reason it got the fighting started was because the 2 operations
pulled up.
collided and everything.
Yeah, and even if they tried to communicate, they wouldn't have let them.
Probably not.
Who are you to step over my jurisdiction?
So Morassi and Wax then wonder if the reason all these set members have abilities is because of the kidnappings, which apparently hadn't stopped, although it had been mainly people, both men and women, out in the roughs over the last several years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Are they what are they doing? Feeding them beans or something?
Apparently, canned beans. Vendel.
That was a joke for the foreshadowing of what comes up later.
Yeah. Vendel also mentions that he thinks Harmony had been having issues since before he had been blinded, which is why he hadn't known where the kidnapped people had been taken. Vendel also mentions a dark shadow that he sees behind Harmony, and that there may be something else going on with him. Vendel then agrees to ask Harmony for some more help, but agrees with Wax when Wax mentions that they are the people Harmony had sent to try to help. So what do you think about Harmony potentially being damaged or inhibited in some way before Trell interfered?
I mean, I thought we made this comment already about the fact that the 2 of them are the 2 conflicting sides being in one kind of creates an issue. It's basically fighting War
this
inside
goes
himself.
into my just thoughts in general that I was
Mhm.
having earlier and last night, because I was like, technically, does this make Harmony that makes Harmony this like 17th shard, right?
No,
he's
he's 2 shards of
combined 2
one.
shards.
It's not
Yeah,
it's
but
not an
that
extra
literally
one.
makes a new one.
Yeah, but there's technically 2 less as well. So technically there's 15
Yeah, well,
shards now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, technically he.
No, but that's not
Sure.
how I see it though, because the way I see it is both of those sides still exist, right?
No,
And
they
now
don't.
not
Well,
they do though.
So imagine it's like a plate
If
that's
they-
been shattered into 16 pieces. If you glue 2 pieces of the plate back together, it doesn't make a new, like, there's not more pieces. It's still technically either the same amount or less, depending on if you view the glued pieces together still separately.
But
or not.
that's not how this works. That's not how this works in general, because that's like Adonasium's thing, right? So he shattered, right? He makes multiple new different gods. So it's like making that plate make multiple new different plates.
No, because I think
really.
it is supposed to be like the plate thing, because it's like, it's technically each piece of the plate is now a separate thing, even though altogether they were a plate. They're now not a plate anymore. It's now 16 pieces of like pottery or whatever.
So in total, they're not gods. They're just like shard power, like
They're
shards.
a piece. Yeah, they're a piece
They're
of the god.
shards. Yeah, they're shards.
That's the whole point. Is that's why they're like, Harmony's more powerful because he's twice as much of a god as the rest of us, basically.
Well, that's the thing, though. He's not twice as much of a god. He's just got twice as much power.
He is.
So he technically is. The main reason is he has these opposing powers, which is why it's more.
No, what I'm saying is that categorization of God is not valid in this case. Though.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean,
so all of these shards that were technically called gods are not gods in general.
Yes.
By that logic.
There's some books
people
that
that hold the powers. Of
get
a
into
god.
that later. I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to give spoilers, but there is a conversation that happens in some books later where they do kind of reference that of like, the shards aren't gods. They're pieces of what was once a god.
Yeah, they're like.
Okay.
That would be like calling Hercules a god, right? I mean, he became one, but like before,
he was a demigod, so it's like half god.
He was a part of the god.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was
they technically, yeah. It just depends on how you, and I think that's again the thing with Brandon. It depends on how you define gods. There's like on Warbreaker, they define these cognitive shadows as gods. They're not really gods compared to the shards, and the shards aren't gods compared to Adonasium itself.
I want you to know from this point onward, none of these shards are gods to me.
That's fine.
Including, like, even if Kelsier got the powers and stuff, he would not be a god to me, because, like, what the fuck is this shit? The ones you got, I follow a new religion.
You follow the Uriali religion, just like me? Of the one?
No. Oh.
The one would be Adonasium, right?
Yeah, that's what I said back in Stormlight.
No,
I believe that Uriali follow a religion that's related to
Tell me you don't believe this darkness. You can't believe what Midnight believes.
No,
he's getting you into the cult. You're joining her
what
cult.
I believe in is
that
the Lord Ruler should have been the one.
He is the one. What are you talking
about? No, he was part of the one.
He was never even actually a shard. He held the power for a brief second and then like didn't have it anymore.
So what?
He never became a vessel.
You're telling me it doesn't make you a shard if you held the power?
No, that's what I'm saying. Vin was
Vin would then be a god.
I think Vin
was
she technically a vessel?
Because technically they held the power, and the only thing making them the shard or the god is that they hold the power. So it doesn't really. It doesn't really matter the amount of time they hold the power for, as long as they hold it.
So what happened? Because the thing is, Laris was still around when the Lord Ruler took his power. The Lord Ruler never was a vessel of preservation. He took a bead of Lerasium while already being a full ferochemist, which caused him to be a like compounder of every metal. He just took Lerasium. And I think he technically like worked with Laris to reshape the world briefly, but I don't think he was ever a vessel. Because Laris didn't die till book 3.
Technically, at that point, it wasn't the Lord Ruler's fault that the world went to shit. It was also him.
Yes.
No, it was all him. What are you talking about? Lord Ruler did nothing wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
there can only be one. I think at most the Lord Ruler could have been considered an avatar, similar to how Telson's trying to be an avatar of autonomy.
Yep.
I think that's the closest you could compare it to.
Hey, he's gonna start fucking earthbending and shit.
Uh,
That's cool, actually. That changes my perspective on so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, have you noticed
shard
that?
if you're the vessel.
So, since if that's not how it's considered, technically, Trell is not a new god. It's just a different name for another god, right?
Yeah, Trell is basically like a piece of autonomy.
Autonomy, right. We get that.
Okay.
I want to say that something fucked up here, and
go for it.
there is another fucking shard that we haven't accounted for, at least for minimum. You know?
Oh, man, that is though.
Because I'm still on that thing that there's a 17th.
Oh.
Okay.
Only because why the fuck did the numbers change, right? Because usually it was 16, now it's everything turning to 17, and I'm just like, okay.
What do you mean everything's turning to 17?
Everything, literally, they mentioned
Yeah.
17 like fucking like 3 times these whole fucking chapters.
Hmm.
Have you not?
I didn't
seen
pick up
that?
on that. I did not.
There was like 3 different mentions of 17. It was like, oh, the rat escaped like 17 times or something like that.
Oh. I didn't pick up on that.
That's why I'm like, how is it like something went wrong? There was like some sort of like imbalance with something, because it used to be 16. 16 was the core number, and now it's just changing to 17.
Hmm.
Maybe it's with Trell coming. Things are changing.
Maybe.
Look. So I'm not gonna go further than the chapters that we've already read, but I did go ahead and look up the like word for how many times it's been used in the book and shit. We've got the 17 parks in the city, right?
Okay.
We've got out of what, which is the scales that they were talking about. You know, like how many scales, like out of how many, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like 17. What kind of insane scale is that, right?
Yeah, Wayne randomly did a scale of 1 to 17.
Yep. Go ahead, you're cooking. Cook, darkness, cook.
Yeah, so we have that. We have the rat one, which I literally just talked about.
Darkness is cooking.
And then right here we have by the code 17 of the United Justice Act, right?
Yeah.
Literally just like we have a bunch of like new 17 stuff.
Mm. I've honestly never noticed that. That is very, very interesting. Maybe that's going to be brought up in Era 3. Maybe that's going to be something that comes up.
There's some new shit happening, because
this is one of his more recent books, so it definitely could be foreshadowing to something happening that I don't even know about yet.
I'm gonna say it's a 17th shard, and I'm gonna stick with that until it either like gets shot down or it actually happens.
I mean, there is that group that called themselves the 17th shard.
The 17th shard, right?
That
I was also thinking
Hoyd's
about that as well.
Maybe they know something we don't as readers.
Well, yeah, I assume that in their world they know more than we as readers.
Yeah.
But sure.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I would assume the characters in the story.
I've been sick. My mind is not at full capacity. Shush.
What? Wait. You said you were good to do this.
I am
okay?
good.
You can't back up now and be like, "Oh, well, I'm sick." You can't use it as an excuse now.
All right, let's keep going. We've already gone 2 hours.
Last night, I literally went to sleep like my whole life is a lie. There's a 17th shard.
Yep. Darkness is contemplating life now. That's all your fault, Midnight.
Oh my gosh. Marassi and Waxen wonder if the reason all of these set members have abilities is because of the kidnappings, which apparently hadn't stopped, although it had mainly been people. Oh no, I've read that. Yeah. My next question was, what do you think about the dark shadow that Vendel mentions? That he sees behind Harmony?
I just thought it was Trell, to be honest. But
it could be Trell, and I was thinking it could also technically be Kelsier, because what stops him from just chilling with him,
True, too.
Also, did we get to the part where Marsh is talking yet?
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
No, we gotta get to the guy. We gotta get to the mayor guy deciding to threaten them.
Yeah, I think that happens in this next chapter. Because Blindhead then comes into the room, followed by the mayor.
Just shows up, like his fucking fortune is telling him to show up.
Well, no, he says, remember, Vendel says he asked Harmony for more help, so Harmony's like, hey, Marsh, you're nearby, can you go, like, help him out?
Yes, I get that. But I'm saying it's like I said,
Yeah.
like Fortune. His fortune just put him in this area.
So chapter 27, we switch back to Wax's point of view as Marassi nods for him to take the lead in talking to the mayor. Wax thinks that Lord Entron is a person he distinctly does not like. He thinks that he will need to be careful with this conversation, but before he can say anything, Wayne calls the man a bag of dicks. Vendel snickers,
I agree with him.
and Wax tells Wayne to stop trying to be helpful. Entron then mentions how happy he is that Wax is here doing an illegal operation. Wax counters that it isn't illegal, but Entron makes the point that Wax have been arguing for years that the outer city should govern themselves, but yet if he dodges his punishment, he'll be going against his own very principles.
He won't.
So Vendel then tries to have Entron back down by showing he's a Khandra. However, Entron replies that he isn't a Pathian. He also calls Khandra puppets and animals that are just pretending to be people. However,
He also states that he doesn't exist.
Yeah.
How can you not believe? Okay, I understand not following him.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Don't know how to follow him. But how are you going to completely deny them? That's like flat Earth, I swear.
It really is.
The Earth is flat. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, darkness.
I'm joking. I know the Earth is not flat. It's a bowl.
It's a bowl!
Jesus Christ, I knew he was going to say it. I knew.
Anyways, Wade gets incredibly angry about this and dares Entron to even try to insult his friends more. Entron backs off, saying that Wax has an hour to either break out and get a pardon from the Ellendale governor before he arrests them. Marassi asks Blantash to try to help them.
When fucking Wax said that. Oh my god, Wax, or not Wax, Wayne fucking.
Yep.
Oh,
He has like this
god,
scary,
I was
wide-eyed
scared.
expression apparently too.
Bro, yeah, because like Darkness said, like we listen to this or read this, and like in our minds we're making it.
Yeah.
Basically, the story is exactly like I saw
Yeah.
the anger.
he dated a Khandra for 6 years.
Yeah,
Plus he like knows some others.
That's when he said when they started, I was just like, are you serious? Like right in front of this person, like in front of Wayne of all people. Right, you signing your death warrant.
But yeah, so Entron backs off, says they have an hour. Marassi asks Blantash to try to help them get out, and she says she'll try, but it's basically out of her hands now. A radio box is then delivered to them, but Wax doesn't trust it. So yeah, what do you think about Entron's view of Harmony and the Khandra?
It was interesting. You know, like I want to see how he explains everything that's happened in the world. You know, or does he just not believe that it happened?
I don't know. I don't know what he believes. He probably just thinks like, oh yeah, the Ash Mouse just like stopped working and then everything was fine. They just suddenly stopped out of nowhere.
Suddenly, I wonder what happened.
Is this our first depiction of an atheist, or like?
Pretty much, yeah.
Vendel gets a bit emotional about Wayne calling him a friend, and Wayne replies that he's allowed to make fun of Vendel because they're friends, but others aren't allowed to. He also tries to tone down his language, as Renette had been telling him to do so in case any children overheard him. Wax wonders about how he can stop the bomb while also dealing with the bombing constables.
You jump past it. He then states afterwards about how he doesn't understand that because children don't know the words anyways. Yeah. So who are we really protecting here?
Yeah. He's like, they won't get it anyways.
I felt that in my bones, bro. I felt that in my bones because that's exactly my whole thing of like, these people state children as they're like the defense for not using curse words, and all I can think of is, honestly, if your children know any cuss words, it's your fault.
If they ask about it, you're in trouble. But if they already know, then you're
it's your fault.
But yeah, so Wax then tries the Trillium earring on. So once Wax has the earring in, he feels himself being pulled to Telsin. He can hear her discussing plans on how to transport the bomb. However, she soon notices Wax's connection to her. She notes that he's in Bilming and causing a commotion. Wax just asks her what she's doing, and she replies she is doing what needs to be done. Telsin calls Wax out on abandoning their family and running off to the roughs, saying that she is doing what she can for the people of Scadrial. Wax quickly pulls out the earring. He then turns to see Vendel watching him closely. He asks about the help Vendel asked from Harmony, and Vendel replies it's here. Wax turns to see Death coming into the building. So yeah, what did you think about his little conversation with Telson there?
It shocked me because I was wholly thinking he was going to end up talking to Trell, and then like it was just became a hive mind situation, and I'm like, it's different.
What do you think, Darkness?
The question?
What did you think about the Wax being connected to Telson through the Trellium earring?
They got a group chat. That's honestly great. That's
you were
awesome.
asking for a cell
And
phone.
honestly, why can't we why can't they as like Harmony's people talk through like Harmony's shit, you know?
Yeah. What's Trell? What's the god for Trell again?
Autonomy.
I was really hoping you were going to say communication.
Nope. Autonomy. Also, do you
No,
think...
because Rin could do it too, right?
Yeah, Kelsier was also able to speak to them as a cognitive shadow through
Right.
So the shadow, though.
Why is there not a network of communication just spread out? Like we've talked about this before, right? Where they go out to different planets and then sell jewelry and shit, you know?
Yeah, we had that conversation.
Right? So why if it's such a top-notch secret and all this shit?
I'm wondering if there's like potentially like a range, because like Harmony, the reason I think Ruin and Harmony can do it is because they're technically everywhere on the planet all at once, whereas Kelsier had to be specifically near the person in the cognitive realm in order to do it. Like he had to be like right like within like actual talking distance of Spook and stuff like that in order to do it. So I'm wondering if there's like some sort of like, with him and Telson both having Trellium spikes, if like they can communicate because of they're both in the same city, but he can't reach out to Autonomy because Autonomy is potentially on like a whole different planet.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean like spread the word or whatever, different planets, all that shit. Right? I mean, at this point, that can literally be an earpiece that can define what side you're on, no matter what. Because it'd be interesting, you know, to see them like use that as a new form of communication. And how would this guy, what's his name, explain that too? You know,
the guy who denies Harmony is a
God.
actual person.
Yeah,
person in general. She just doesn't exist. There's no Harmony, guys. Like
no Harmony. Definitely fake.
I just don't get it.
Well, yeah, I feel like that's what I would use it for.
Mm-hmm.
Just a communication device at that point, which is literally what they're doing. But
also, do you think what Telson is doing is good, bad, or somewhere in between? Because she says she's saving Scadrial by doing this.
Define doing what?
Like working for Autonomy, like fucking with all the politics, potentially bombing Elendel. She says this is how she's saving Scadrial.
I mean, technically, if Autonomy is gonna fucking destroy the world anyway, and the only way she can save it is to change it in the way the Autonomy sees fit, she's doing it for a good reason.
Yeah,
she's just doing it against other people's will.
Yep. But do you really think? What do you think would happen if Autonomy had just come here and been like, "Hey, guys, this is my plan"? Like, people would have rebelled against it. Like, somebody's got to be a bad guy. The world needs bad guys.
Because if there isn't, I'm gonna be the bad. No,
no. I mean, you're already the bad guy, Darkness.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the most innocent, sweetest, like non-criminal person ever.
Also, were you guys surprised when Marsh showed up?
No.
Yes, I loved it.
Just like, hey,
Marsh.
Here.
Marsh was my favorite character aside from Spook. My favorite character in the last book or last series, and still my favorite in this one.
I love Marsh. He's a great character.
They are insane. Yep.
So let me get our.
I mean, Marassi's definitely up there, though. Yeah. Just saying.
You like the M characters? Marassi's
definitely
M and K.
Yeah. Yep.
Moonlight, Marassi, Marsh.
Mythic.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite M character is Melsier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mook.
Yeah, Mook as well. Yeah, Mook.
So we get our broadsheet. So there's briefly a retraction regarding the previous.
Yeah, I just totally skipped this. You know.
Regarding the previous editor,
did skip it actually.
calling the mayor a bore. There was a complaint about the Sunni pups again, this time from a university professor, and how they are the wrong breed, as current dog breeds didn't exist back then. They're like, it wasn't a wolf hound, it was a wolf, or it's not a wolf dog, it was a wolf hound. It's different. You got the wrong breed.
What if it's just Tensoon?
It is.
It just has a different name this time.
It's 100% just Tensoon. There's
I'm pretty
no
sure
way it's.
They're definitely, the previous ones definitely were. I don't know if this one is, and he's just trying to use a different name, but yeah.
He's trying a different tactic, but
yeah, he is. He's like, they'll respect this guy. There's another complaint about noseball and how there's going to be a rally against people playing noseball. There's a comic showing the mayor as a boar while someone paints him. There's an ad for a tourist trip to the temple where the Bands of Mourning had been. Apparently there's also a hot spring trip included, and a recreation of Wax's fight. There's an ad regarding a reward for anyone who turns in Malwish medallions, claiming them to be dangerous witchcraft. There's an ad for a tonic that is flavored with chocolate from cocoa beans imported from the Malwish. There's an ad for a book called The Man Who Electrified Time. There's an ad for a Bendeloy cook wanted for a quick eats cafe. Perks are extra Bendeloy and 1 day off a week, and 2 days off for religious holidays. There's also an ad for steel runners as food delivery people. There's a weather report regarding fog, thunderstorms, and low mist for the next 2 weeks. There's an ad for a Terrace fashion clothing store that's opening up. And then there's the continuation of the Nikki Savage story. The two Khandra have combined to become one large bird creature that has 2 faces, one for each Khandra. Nikki's carried by the Khandra bird towards the person she had been looking for, where the person flies up to them and they fight in the air. And then what we can read ends as Nikki begins to burn chromium. So what do you think? Who do you think is trying to collect the Malwish medallions? Do you think it's like the Billman government? Do you think it's the set? Who do you think is after them?
That's something I didn't actually think about, honestly. If it was a specific group trying to collect them.
So I think that's like the most interesting of the articles in here, besides the funniness about Tensoon trying to get them to stop making the fucking plushies of him. It was kind of like, someone was trying to collect these Malwish medallions from people.
Totally world hoppers.
Would they work outside that world?
Medallions? I think so. I'm pretty sure all Feruchemy would work outside of Scadrial. We also know that, I mean, I don't know if you have to get the medals off Scadrial specifically, but we saw Wit use Allomancy on Roshar in one of Shalon's flashbacks.
Yeah, but that's Allomancy, and then didn't he take like a Laserium,
yeah. That's how he has Allomancy. But I'm pretty sure if you make the medallions, potentially at least on Scadrial, or at least as if a Feruchemist makes them, like, they're basically just metal mines, the medallions.
Anyone could use those, right?
Yeah, the Malwish ones are specifically using identity so that anyone can use them. I think it's just they mention how you have to like know what they are to like use them. They have to be kind of like told what they do to like connect to them, but otherwise, like, yeah, like literally anyone could use them. You could take them off world, like anyone could use them.
That sounds like a great idea. Oh my god, I don't really need to spike them then.
The only thing with the medallions is that they're limited to how many medals you can have on them. I think they said the 3 was the highest, and it doesn't work if you try to use multiple medallions at one time.
Wait, you can't use multiple medallions?
No, remember, you have to switch between them. Remember, that's why Alec can't both talk to them and stay warm during the last book.
And what defines that?
He says they just don't work. They like cancel each other out somehow.
Ugh, I need to work around it. Wait, what medallions do we have so far?
They have a warmth one, a connection one, and a weight one, are I think the 3 main ones we know about. Because the connection one is the one that allows them to talk in different languages.
And then all of this can be obtained through like hemalurgy, right?
Yeah, these abilities can be done through hemalurgy as well.
Alright, I'm sticking to my hemalurgic courses.
I agree. Yep. Those definitely exist, darkness.
So we continue with Wax's point of view as he watches Death enter the constabulary. He emits emotional allomancy that seems to cause dread to all of those around him, and all the constables in the place are frozen in place as they stare at him. Wax is able to shake off the emotional allomancy as he realizes what it is. Wax comes out to meet Marsh and gestures for him to join them in the room with the others. One of the constables pulls out a gun, but Marsh easily pulls it to himself and crushes it with his allomancy.
Oh
Wax
my
is,
god, when they asked how did you do that later, I
Yeah.
was like, yep.
Wax is incredibly impressed by the ease at which Marsh does this. Entrone then comes out, shocked to see Marsh, and at first argues that Wax and the others are his prisoners. However, Marsh replies that he is not part of any religion. Death is a fact, and he asks Entrone how he wishes to die, after claiming he never liked the Entrones of the past. Entrone eventually gives...
badass.
He's like, I didn't like your ancestors, they were assholes.
But also, just how do you want to die?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up the Critical Role comment while you do this, and yeah, that it reminded me of. Go ahead. Sorry.
Entrone eventually gives in and lets Marsh do as he wishes. Marsh then tells Wayne to watch the door before he collapses into a chair, aging noticeably. He mentions how he's low on atium and thus getting closer and closer to death. He had been embalming trying to find the people who were trying to split Harmonium so that he could get more atium, as he felt the need to keep protecting Scadrial because of how much harm he caused as an Inquisitor. So what do you think about Marsh showing off to scare Entrone?
It was such a badass thing.
Scaring the dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that. That was satisfying.
What else do you think about Marsh's search for getting more atium because he's dying?
He needs to not. First of all, he sounds like a junkie, okay? He needs to chill the fuck out.
So Waxman mentions how splitting Harmonium causes a large explosion, and Marsh mentions how there is a man named Tobal Copper that had been working on it and had vanished 2 weeks ago. Marsh also mentions how Autonomy, through Trell, is trying to take Scadrial off the Universal Stage before they even have a chance to get there. He also mentions how
I found I found the quote that that his comment about how do you want to die reminded me of. So it goes, may I say before you go, I think perhaps you are one of the most powerful mages that I have ever had the pleasure to be in the presence of. Pain doesn't make people, it's the love that makes people. The pain is inconsequential. It's love that saves them. And you would know that, but you have none around you. You said so yourself. You surround yourself with lies and deception. And I wish for you, in the future, to find somebody who will mourn you when you are gone, respectfully. Such a fucking powerful line when he's in Critical Role. It is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what fucking Marsh's how would you like to die made me feel like. Oh my god.
He also mentions how they are circumventing the amount of spikes that should put them under Harmony's control, either because of Harmony's failing ability to do anything, or because of the Trellium spikes. He very much worries about getting Lerasium and Atium, or even about them figuring out how to compound with Hemalurgy, which is normally not possible. So what do you think of the fact that you can't properly compound Ferrocamine and Allomancy while using Hemalurgic spikes?
I mean, he also wait, was it him or was it? I think it's him, right? I mean, the comment that they can't split.
That was Vendel, who says you can't split Harmonium without splitting the Shard Harmony.
Yeah, exactly. But like that was stated out. So, in my opinion, honestly, I don't think any of these people know anything.
Well, Marsh obviously doesn't agree with Vendel. Vendel says he believes that. Marsh obviously thinks that it can be done because he was specifically trying to find the people who were trying to split Harmonium so that he could get more atium. So Vendel and Marsh obviously have different ideas of what's possible.
I agree. I think it's definitely possible. Like, honestly, anything is possible in this world. So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as soon as the first one splits, that's when freaking what's his name? Harmony's gonna split.
Oh yeah.
And it's not because Harmony split, that you're gonna be able to do the metal stuff. Because once you I'm assuming he hangs severely on himself, balance,
Mm-hmm.
Once you split that metal and you use one more than the other, or the ability to use one more than the other in general, the fact that he's able to separate them, it's gonna make Sage crash out.
So
Honestly, I don't think Sage needs anything to crash out. I think Sage is going to crash out anyways.
I mean, he's already in the process. He's just fighting back.
Yeah, I think he's crashing out. Like
he doesn't want HR after his ass.
This is definitely an HR thing for sure. You're right.
So Marassi then asks Marsh about the ghost blood symbol, and Wax notes that it looks like a merewolf flower. Marsh notes that it is his brother Kelsier's symbol, and that Kelsier does his best to use his people to help Scadrial, but he isn't the best at self-reflection. He also mentions that Kelsier is sort of alive, not as alive as Marsh, but more alive than a ghost. Marsh thinks that if he, Kelsier, or Sazed, the final three of the original crew, were to fail, that everything would fail as they are the three legs of a tripod holding up Scadrial. So what do you think about the confirmation that Kelsier is in charge of the Ghost Bloods?
And I'm pretty sure I've already stated this.
You guys had a few guesses. You guys also thought Spook might have been in control of it and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I still think Spook's in. What do you mean? I still think Spook is involved in this.
He could be involved. I'm saying you thought he was in charge. I'm saying Kelsier is specifically the one who is in charge of the group.
I think Kelsier is using Spook's body.
I'm just saying it's specifically Kelsier who's considered, like Marsh says, Kelsier is the leader of the Ghost Blood. Spook could still be involved, but he's saying Kelsier specifically is the leader.
So the thing is though, he said there's only 3 people alive from that era now.
From the original group, he says. Spook was not part of the original group.
Spook was part of it. What do you mean? He was right there.
Yeah. So Marsh is saying the original group. I believe the original group does not include Vin, Elend, or Spook, because the original group is from before Book 1.
Wasn't Spook there before Vin, though?
No, Spook gets brought in by his uncle, who is the clubs, at the same time as Vin's brought in.
Because at the same time?
Because
I was there for
because their previous Tin-Eye died sometime while Kelsier was gone. So he's like, hey, my nephew is a Tin-Eye, I can bring him in. Spook was not part of the group until the first book Lord Ruler mission.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that technically that him saying that only 3 of the original crew come back does not technically go against Mythic's theory.
I 100% thought the same thing you did, Darkness, that he's always been a part of this crew.
Well, yeah, the thing is that
Spook is like a kid. He's younger than Ben.
I thought it was like I thought he said of that era, not of the group. But
I'm pretty sure he says of our original crew. And I would assume that the original... Yeah, I'm 90% sure he specifies it's the original crew, is what he calls it. What chapter is that? End of 28? He's alive. 3 of us remain from that original crew. After all this time, only 3. Is his specific words. So you can take it as either the original crew is the people who took out the Lord Ruler, or it could be the original crew from before Kelsier even became a Mistborn. Of their original group when Marsh and Kelsier got along better. And you would thus include Mare as part of the original crew. Because remember, they were a big group before Mare and Kelsier got captured.
I honestly didn't even remember that, to be honest.
Yeah, so they had a whole group way before, and Marsh and Kelsier were much closer back then. Marsh blames Kelsier for Mare's death and the capture and everything, and they split up, basically. Like, they kind of, like, stopped talking and, like, had, like, a really bad relationship near the end, just before Kelsier, like, gets taken to the pits. They started having a falling out. And then Kelsier comes back, and he tries to bring Marsh back, and Marsh has the whole thing of, like, I don't trust you, I don't think you have, like, the people's best interests at heart, but I guess I'll work with you after all, after some convincing, is basically how it all goes down. At, like, kind of, like, the beginning of the first book. But he's like, okay, I'll get back together. Remember, as I said, Marsh is, like, friends with all the other crew members, because, like, they all kind of work together, along with a couple other people. There was, like, a kind of a larger group of, like, mistings that would work together as, like, part of this, like, resistance kind of thing. And they had, like, a whole breakdown around the time that Kelsier and Mare were captured. And then Kelsier kind of brings all of his favorites of that group back together, and of the people that aren't dead.
I'm not gonna lie, if I were Marsh, I would not well, technically, I would not stop fucking making fun of Kelsier and the way he died.
I mean, we don't know. They could be having conversations. We don't know how much they communicate. He could be. I should imagine them. I imagine them hanging out. He's like, yeah, sucks to not have like your real body anymore, doesn't it? Sucks to be you, cognitive shadow. Kelsey's
Damn,
like, at least I had eyes.
Imagine going to a
Hang around
slap.
it.
Yeah.
I want to just see Sage, Kelsey, or Marsh just hanging out, being like, the
They're like
good old
fucking-
days when I wasn't
They're
an
playing like
Inquisitor,
poker.
I wasn't God, and you weren't a cognitive shadow.
When I wasn't dead, you weren't like a god, and I was like, whatever.
when I wasn't dead, you weren't dead.
Yeah. I just feel like that'd be funny conversations.
It really would.
If I were to ever fight Kelsier,
I
and
mean,
then like, let's say I was the character in the story, and I were to fight Kelsier,
Mm.
I would literally be like, I'm sending you back to your brother.
I'm gonna have your brother
how
come
do your
get
brother
you.
How do your brother?
Marsh is the older brother too. I'm gonna have your big brother come get you.
Ew. I'm calling your big brother. Rain.
Calling your.
So Wax and the others then get ready to go, although Vendel says he won't be much more help and that he'll stay behind with Marsh and keep an eye on the injured constables. Wayne, before they leave, angrily asks if the others knew that ghosts are real. Marsh just states that a better name for them is cognitive shadows, and Wax just tells Wayne to focus, as Wayne grumbles more.
Wait, I thought he said. I thought he said they like to be called. I think. Did they say they like to be called cognitive shadows?
I think they like to be / they're better known as I think the proper I think the like accepted name basically is cognitive shadows.
I thought he said they like to be called.
He says I'm told it is better to refer to them as cognitive shadows, not that they like to be, just it's better to refer to them as that. So I think he's kind of saying like the more scientific name is cognitive shadow.
Yeah, I mean they might haunt you otherwise.
Loki? That'd be fun. Let me be a cognitive shadow.
So we then switch to chapter 29.
But I'd have to die first.
So we switch to Marassi's
Yeah, Darkness, you ready to die?
Mm-hmm.
So we switch to Marassi's point of view as she gets over the little conversation with Marsh. However, as they leave the building, Blandhash runs after them. She states that she thinks Entron will send constables after them, thinking that they tricked him somehow. However, she suggests sending one of her agents with them so they can pretend they're spying on Wax and the others to keep Entron off their backs. Wax doesn't want this, but Marassi recognizes the constable researcher Kim as Moonlight in disguise. Marassi lies about meeting with her before in Ellendale and says she thinks they should bring the woman with them. So yeah, what did you think about Moonlight having a fake persona with the Belming constables?
That's not gonna be the only persona she's gonna have. She's gonna be everywhere. Everywhere, literally.
I wouldn't be surprised if she has like a whole bunch of different like...
Does she have luck on her side?
I don't believe she has access to fortune. I think she's probably just like... I'm assuming the Ghostbloods in general just have like a bunch of their agents in like different parts of like the government and stuff like that to try and keep an eye on things.
Or hear me out, right?
Hear me out.
They have like agents everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as one of them spots Hoid, they get assigned to watch them the whole time they're there.
I think it's more so. I mean, yeah, Kelsier and Hoyt actually don't get along either. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Kelsier did that. But I think Moonlight also specifically has her own grudge against Hoyt.
Yeah, I know, right?
I just imagine all of the Ghostbloods are like bonded together through a hatred of Hoyt. That's their real bonding together. Because technically, like Moonlight doesn't really have a reason to protect Scadrial in any way. Like she's not from Scadrial. She's from Cell. I don't fully remember if they explain it later in this book or not, but I don't remember why she's with the Ghostbloods. She just is. I don't know why she's there. I don't know why she cares about Scadrial at all.
Well, the thing is it really about Scadrial, or is it about the bigger, like,
So
plan
I believe
that
Moonlight, I think in this chapter, when she talks to Marassi, specifically tells Marassi that they are here to protect Scadrial. That's like the Ghostbloods.
No. I'm assuming that's their job as the faction on Scadrial.
Well, I think that's Kelsier's, like, full objective. And he's the leader of the Ghostbloods. I'm pretty sure what she... where is...
I don't believe that's, like, the full, like, part of their thing, though. Because then they wouldn't really, like... I don't know. It's weird. I don't think it's, like, the world they're trying to protect, you know?
Where is... I'm trying to find the exact wording here. Yeah, so she says, do you want answers? We have those. Do you want to protect Scadrial? That's our main purpose. So their main purpose, the main purpose of the Ghost Bloods, their like main objective is protect Scadrial.
So
They have
is
other
it
objectives
protect
potentially as
Scadrial of the
well.
world, or is it
Yes, the
protect
planet.
Scadrial of the people?
I'm assuming it's mainly the people, considering how Kelsier is, more so than the planet.
Well, then why the fuck did he not just move all the people? Fuck it, kidnap all of them.
But yeah, so Kelsier's thing is, whether it's the people or the planet or both, his thing is the main objective of the Ghostbloods is protect Scadrial. That is their like main mission. They might have side missions as well, but the main mission is protect Scadrial. So maybe Moonlight's like there because of a side mission, but that is the main goal of the Ghostbloods.
Can the perpendicularity get clogged?
I don't think so.
Cause like, would it just shove them all in there? Just desert the planet. And leave the god, fuck it. What's he gonna do?
The problem is you can't get to another planet unless they have a perpendicularity, which means they have another god. So it's like, do you want to deal with any of the other shards? Is the other thing.
No, because you said there was planets with perpendicularities that didn't have gods.
Remember, the only planet we know of that has a perpendicularity that's doesn't have a shard on it is the sixth is First of the Sun, which has an avatar of autonomy on it.
So travel to that, kill the avatar.
Remember that also the perpendicular also takes you to a deadly island of psychic monsters that are gonna kill you.
It does?
Yeah, remember the fucking island Patchy, like where the whole story takes place? They have like the psychic, poisonous, deadly creatures that like his ABR is constantly trying to protect him from and showing him visions of how he's gonna die.
Oh, and that's the planet that has the...
Yeah, that's the planet. The pool where all the like birds like hang around. At the top of the mountain of the deadly island is where the perpendicularity is. That's why no one goes there.
Awesome. Lovely.
Yeah. Like
they're
Chris
so right in building spaceships in like the last era or whatever.
Yeah, that's
like.
But yeah, that's
if they
why,
even travel that way.
Like Chris specifically says in her little like piece about that planet that like they don't know much about it because it's like impossible to get through the perpendicularity.
Yeah. I mean, we could just invite them here. It'll be fine.
Okay. So Waxen asks Moonlight about Tobal Copper, and she replies that she can find the information in the records room. Wax states they will let the set potentially know what they're after if they do that, but Marassi says there isn't another way, and they'll just have to stay ahead of the set. Wax sighs and has Moonlight lead them to the records room. Once there, Marassi writes out a letter to Alec to ask him to get out of the city for a day or two and visit her father, as she doesn't want him in Ellendale in case something happens. Marassi steps out to go send her message, and Moonlight intercepts her. She asks Marassi to keep her identity a secret from Wax and Wayne, as they are too close to Harmony, which Marassi does not want to do, but Moonlight insists on it and says that Wax and Wayne likely don't tell her everything either. She asks if Marassi isn't interested in secrets of the Cosmere, and Marassi replies that she doesn't need to keep secrets to feel special. Moonlight just replies that the cost of her helping is to keep her secret from Wax and Wayne, before she hurries off to go back to the room where the men are researching. So what do you think about the Ghostbloods specifically not trusting Wax and Wayne because of their closeness to Harmony?
Well, at least we know they're not working with Harmony.
Yeah,
probably because Harmony would be like, don't do that, it's gonna disturb the balance.
Apparently Sazed and Kelsier might have had a falling out or something.
That's valid, because who the fuck do you think you are letting them just chill like that?
What did you think about that, Mythic?
Kelsier should have had the power, for sure.
He apparently wasn't close enough to preservation to hold on to it for very long.
Yeah, well, you know, he could have figured it out. He's a god.
So when Marassi returns from sending her message to Alec, she notices that the research team has a bunch of information laid out for Wax. Moonlight is sitting nearby, and Wayne is watching her with one eye. Marassi thinks that if Moonlight isn't careful, Wayne is going to spot her act. The researchers mention how Tobal Copper had been fired for becoming erratic, and had gone around claiming the world was ending, and they were splitting harmonium, and they were all going to be turned into turtles. Marassi believes all of it but the turtle bit.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question about that, by the way. So, he says... he literally talks about them splitting How is harmonium, like, known?
Yeah, so the Malwish introduce it to them at the end of, basically kind of like near the end of Bands of Mourning. I think during all the trade negotiations that happened just after it, which is 6 years ago, they introduce harmonium to them because I'm assuming harmonium isn't really in the basin. I think they have to import it from the Malwish people.
Okay, that it had me confused because I was like, I remember ATM being a big thing. Like nobody knew Raysium or whatever that existed. So I thought the same for.
You're cutting out a lot.
I guess not.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I thought that like Laurasium was a well-guarded secret in the first era, right?
Yeah.
So I thought Harmonium was also a guarded secret. So it caught me off guard. You just
so it
like
was, and I think the Malwish specifically only give the like Ellendale Basin people a specific amount. But there might be side deals that like the set are doing with the Malwish potentially, like we don't know. But like the Malwish basically have like the monopoly on Harmonium. So it was completely unknown to the people of the Basin up until the Malwish appeared, basically.
I'm surprised they haven't like split it.
Yeah, apparently I mean, as far as we know, like maybe the set have, but like everyone else, including Wax, have been completely unsuccessful.
The Malwish.
I don't know if they've tried. They have like a million superstitions, Wax says about it.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
So.
The limitations of beliefs.
Yeah. They might also not know that it's splittable. Like, before they met the Basin people, they might not have even known that it should have been two separate metals previously. They just know that it's this metal that can power their airships. Like, they were able to use it for their technology. But, like...
You don't think Kelsier would have told them?
He might not have. Like, it seems like he only told them he didn't tell them everything, it seems like, potentially. I think he probably gave them a bunch of the superstitions to not fuck with it too much.
Oh, maybe.
So, like, yeah, I think they probably didn't even know about Atium and Laurasium before potentially, like, Marassi or Wax or someone told them. Like, they didn't even know it was a thing. They're just like, oh, this is just a metal that does this stuff. Yeah, so they talk about the turtles and everything. Marassi believes everything but the turtle part of it. And once the researchers leave, Marassi and Wax decide to go looking for Tobal on the off chance the set kept him to work on their project instead of just killing him. So, I mean, we get Wayne's perspective on it a bit later, but do you think Tobal is alive or dead?
We get that perspective?
Wayne says at the very end of his whole, like, trying to get into the mind of Tobal that he's pretty sure, based on Tobal's personality, that he wouldn't have willingly worked with the set, and thus they probably killed him.
Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't think about who Tobal was.
Alive.
I don't think he's alive. I definitely think he's dead. I had to remember who.
Yeah, he's the guy that Wayne gets in the head of.
That he just straight up Wayne is just. I just don't understand Wayne, man.
He's just
too good. Abilities are just so crazy. It's just like he's an anomaly, man.
No, yeah, something's not right with him.
There's just some weird thing with him. Like I
mean, we do learn that like his dad used to be really good at accents, and he like copied it to make his mom feel better because they were in a really shitty situation.
Yeah, but what stops his dad from being a conjure? Because like that's what I'm saying, you know.
We don't know.
Like, what if he's just half conjure?
We've never met his dad. His dad was potentially dead before we ever met him.
Or what if he wasn't dead and he went back to being a conjure because he got found? Doubt.
Yeah. What if he was brought back, to the homeland or whatever?
What if he made a deal with Sayes where he was like, yeah, that's right. I'll make a living. I'll like live my own life. But if I die, then I gotta go back to being a conjure for you.
I
die. I mean, yeah, weren't we talking about how some conjure are
infiltrating into like society as normal people?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I mean maybe. So. They've definitely.
And wouldn't it be suspicious if those conjure cannot fucking?
That's suspicious.
How do you say it? Reproduce?
That's weird.
Yeah, again, we don't know if they can reproduce at all. I assume that it'd be maybe easier to make a male reproduce. I'm not sure.
To what?
To like make a guy that's fertile over a woman that's fertile, because you have to like somehow make, I don't know, maybe not.
Not really, because like they don't really like struggle. They wouldn't struggle with the changes that
Yeah, because
normal
I
like
guess I
women
wonder
normally struggle with.
if you, although then it wouldn't be, because I was gonna say like, because women technically are supposed to be like born with all of your eggs, so like if you consume a woman, you could like maybe keep her ovaries and her eggs, but then it wouldn't be chondra eggs. So I don't know. Anyway, so chapter 30, we switch back to Wayne's point of view as he stares at the apartment building where Tobal Copper had lived. He thinks about the story his mom had told him before she died and how they had already crossed the river and needed to find the canyon next. They go inside the building and get the doorman to bring out the building manager. Moonlight shows off her credentials so they can see the missing man's apartment, and the building manager reluctantly brings them up to the apartment. Wax is surprised to hear that no one had been by previously to investigate the man's disappearance. What do you think about
I find it odd that they don't even think of that. The other people,
right?
like, that wasn't even a question.
Well, the others might be wondering that. It's just that we're in Wax's point of, or Wayne's point of view. Oh no, Wax says it. We're in Wayne's point of view, but Wax
Says that. Yeah, Wax says that. Literally, that exact same.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why did they just not, like? Why are the way that they act is just so weird to me. It's sus. Why would you not have wondered where this guy went?
Also, what do you think about Wayne kind of being like, "Oh, we're following the story that my mom told me as a kid."
Oh my god. His mother's autonomy.
Oh my god, plot twist. Like Vin was always a follower of Ruin.
So the inside of the apartment was too pristine, and thus Wax went about looking for traps, of which he found 3. He then sends Moonlight off to go get some of the neighboring apartments emptied out for the next hour or so. Marassi and Wax begin searching the place, even though the set have obviously already gone through the place. Wayne explains to Moonlight that because there were traps, it meant that the set weren't sure they had found everything. Wayne then points out a stack of letters to Wax, and they find some numbers that look like a combination, although some of the numbers are smudged. Moonlight thinks it's some storage lockers near the train station. Waxon finds a bullet hole, and Marassi finds blood and potentially a small sliver of bone in it. They get some more information from the room before Wayne begins to try to get into the head of Tobal Copper. Wax asks Moonlight, Wayne comes to the conclusion that Tobal would have tried to get the information he knows out there, so Wax asks Moonlight for the last reputable broadsheet that would print anything. Moonlight also realizes the numbers on the envelope match part of the address of the broadsheet printer that she says out to them, which is like the secret. I don't know why I didn't write it down. Secret something or other. What's the name of the broadsheet? Why didn't I not write down the name of it? The Sentinel of Truth, sorry. That's the name of the broadsheet. That he's like, oh, which one prints Alamance or Jack stories? That'll be the one that will take any story.
Yeah, I honestly, to be honest, when they said that, that's exactly what I thought too. I was like, whoever's printing this garbage probably did it.
But yeah, so Moonlight
With
also
you on this, man. Garbage ass. Answer Jack, man.
So yeah, so the numbers match the address of the Sentinel of Truth printer, and Wayne thinks that Tobal is very likely dead based on his personality. So then we get to switch to chapter 31, and we get Steris' point of view back in Ellendale. And she's sitting in the assembly hall of the Senate. She has seen a bunch of headlines regarding Wax and the Ellendale constables being involved in a botched operation. She thinks that she sent her and Wax's children off with their nanny to her father's estate in the south, hoping they would be safe there. She has sent a letter to the governor's terracewoman vice-governor, but had been ignored, even though she had stated the city was in danger. She thinks that most people don't like to listen to her. Steris is then called up to speak, and she's...
I said, I wonder why.
Steris is then called up to speak.
You're a woman or anything.
Steris is called to speak, and she says that her husband is out fighting as a lawman because of the danger in Bilming. The governor states that Wax acted improperly, even though he had the proper authority to do what he did. Steris is upset, but doesn't say anything about it. Instead, she asks for an emergency council to be called upon so she can speak to the governor in a smaller setting about an evacuation plan so as not to upset the whole city and cause chaos. So what did you think about Steris' plan here before you found out what happened? Like, do you think it was a good overall plan, or do you think it was a bad plan?
Saying I just took it from her. Right now, they just, we'll run with that. That'll be our idea, thanks.
It's like, yeah, we'll do that. We're just not going to include you.
Yeah, like...
Including in the evacuation, you may stay, along with your children.
Like I said, I will say that when that I expected. Oh yeah, I didn't expect him to be as like discriminatory towards her as they are, because like she definitely she just keeps having all of these like I have super good plans kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I never expected her to be on the back end like that.
But yeah, like she obviously just didn't have enough time to prepare as she normally would. Yeah, so the governor then agrees to make the small council, but then doesn't include Steris, which she realizes was an oversight on her part. The Malwash ambassador then asks to be able to watch the meeting, bribing the governor with a pleasure craft. Steris is shocked when the governor agrees, especially so publicly. Steris then tries to push to be involved in the council, and the Terraform mentions that she hasn't given the letter to the governor, as Wax tended to inflate problems. Steris continues to insist, but she has no proof to show the governor. Steris is desperate to get into the meeting, though, and comes up with an idea that we don't get told this chapter. So what do you think her idea might be?
The idea is, yeah, exactly. I knew that was going to be the question.
She's gonna set off the bomb herself.
To be honest, I have no idea what her plans are. She is an enigma to me.
Mm.
I was being for real, by the way.
But what?
Oh,
Sorry?
were you?
Yeah,
She's setting up the bomb.
Oh.
Yeah, like if they're not gonna take her seriously, you might as well cause what they think what you said is gonna happen, and then they're gonna take you seriously then.
Interesting. I mean, she has sent their children off to stay with her dad.
Right, and then they want proof, right? Here's some proof.
She's
Kaboom.
like, everyone I love isn't in the city anyways.
What am I gonna lose?
She's like, my sister's out, my dad's out, my kids are out, my sister's boyfriend's out, my husband's out, my husband's best friend's out of the city.
Wait, Wax has a best friend?
Wayne.
That's not his best friend.
Pretty sure that's his best friend.
They're practically brothers.
Your brother can be your best friend.
Nah, my brother's definitely not my best friend.
I'm just saying they can be. They don't have to be.
No, definitely not.
That's a disgusting mindset.
Yeah.
Anyways, we've got our overview questions. First of all, do you think
Why? Why?
Because we do. Do you think Entrone is working for, or at least with, the set?
Yes.
Or do you think he's completely oblivious?
Who?
Entrone, the mayor of Belming. That was like, I don't believe in harmony. Conjure
Nice
just
bitch is
animals.
oblivious. Oblivious.
You don't think he's working with the set at all? He's oblivious to them?
He might be working with them. He just don't know he's working with
He
them.
just doesn't know he's working with them. Fair. Also, do you think we're going to meet any more of the Ghost Bloods in this book?
I hope not. I'm so tired of them already.
Same.
You don't want to meet, like, Kelsier or any more of his friends?
I mean, I want to meet Kelsier, but I mean,
He's a Ghost Blood.
yeah, but just because he's the leader doesn't make me him a Ghost Blood. Like,
He's definitely a Ghost Blood.
I don't want to see him because he's a Ghost Blood. I want to see him because Kelsier's the guy.
The real question is, does he bleed?
Yeah, he died. He obviously bleeds.
No, but he's dead now.
Yeah, well, he still bleeds.
Exactly. Is that why it's called Ghost Blood? Because he bleeds?
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's the whole reason he named it Ghost Blood, for sure.
You're so right, Mythic. What a good theory.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
I'm
guys...
so glad we were on the same page, Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Steris is going to be able to get the city to evacuate, or do you think she's going to keep being, like, ignored?
I still think she's going to get the city to evacuate, but she's going to get ignored.
Fair.
I think she's gonna go blow up the place, honestly. But she's gonna do it in her own manner, you know, where it's like completely safe and no type of like fallout can happen.
All right. Do you guys have any other thoughts or theories that you want to add?
No, well, besides we gave pretty good theories today.
Yeah, you guys gave a lot already.
We gave a lot of theories.
All right, so actually, before
Pretty
I thank our
long episode,
Patreons, next week we will be doing chapters.
We will not be doing any chapters because we will not be ever again.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I work next week.
Yep, I know.
Well, next time we record, we will be doing chapters 32 to 42, another 11 chapters.
Which will never happen because we're never doing this again.
We are doing
You're
this again.
so right. I might be working every Sunday from now on.
Oh my god. So yeah, next, thank you so much to our Patreons, Hubris, Calvin Dies in Book 3, Kyle, and Danny the Spoon Lord for being our Patreons. We appreciate you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.